Good afternoon and welcome one and all to Etihad Stadium in the magnificent Docklands precinct. It's the round one Easter clash between St Kilda and GWS. And whether you finished top or bottom last season, it makes no difference because it is a brand new season. Everyone starts on level pegging. Former St Kilda skipper and champ Danny Frawley alongside me. We just saw Nick Riewoldt arriving, Spud. An incredibly emotional time for him with the tragic passing of his sister, but it's almost like a new dawning for the Saints, isn't it?
No, it is, and you've got to feel for Nick Riewoldt. The emotions running through his veins at the moment as we saw walking through the rooms. Hopefully this is a real release for him. He's been outstanding in his professionalism over the last month to go through such a tragic experience, and he's led from the front, and that's what you expect today. I think what we need from him, or the Saints need from him today, is just to put his best foot forward, and that's still good enough for him to play really well.
What the Saints do have is a lot of exciting new youngsters. Now, not all of them on display, unfortunately, today, but we'll take a look at the two lineups, kicking it off with the Saints. Of course, you won't miss Nick Riewoldt out on the ground. He has the fluoro orange boots, so very, very noticeable, but you've been doing a little bit of work down at the Saints, in particular with the back six.
Yeah, well, look, Delaney, he'll probably get the big job on Cameron. Fisher and Dempsey had really good pre-season. Savage was recruited as a forward, but need his ball use down back. I think Jack Loney's playing his first game today. You've got Dunson, Sinclair as well, come off the rookie list, and of course Schneider. So the Saints have promoted an Ahmed Saad who hasn't played for 18 months. So they've promoted Schneider, Saad and Sinclair off the rookie list. But have a look at the forward line there. Membry playing his first game, second game of league football coming down from Sydney. Weller's on the half-forward flank. He's no doubt had a really good finish to the season last year, playing on the opposition best player. I reckon he'll get Ryan Griffin. And of course Eli Templeton looked like he's going to have a great season before he broke his arm. But the big thing about GWS lineup, have a look at the experience they've added there in Patfull, who's got a really good record against Nick Riewoldt, and of course Griffin. Throw in the fact of all Callum Ward, Scully, you've got Green, Josh Kelly, Devon Smith, Treloar, and you know you've got a good midfield, Jace, when you have a look at the sub in Canelio. So to me, that's a very, very deep midfield.
Well, we can just see GWS coming out onto the ground now. 2 wins in their first year in 2012. Just the 1 win in 2013, but 6 victories last year. You almost think they're ready for a breakout season. Yeah, well, they've had 3 or 4 pre-seasons under their belt now. As you see, Big Mumford, who won their best and fairest last year, the Kevin Sheedy medal. Look at the size of Toby Green there running through number 4. They've had 4 seasons in the gym now. 2 or 3 years ago, they were pushed off the ball a lot easier. Their NAB challenge form was absolutely outstanding. Their only loss was a kick with a minute to go against Sydney. So their form has been terrific. Yeah, there's a lot to like about the makeup, but of course they've got to come out and start getting the job done on a consistent basis, because we can only talk about potential for so long. At some stage, they've got to start putting the results on the board. No, they do, and Jeremy Cameron, the big signing over the pre-season, 5 years on big money. Obviously no Patton there. He'll get some help today from Tomlinson McCarthy, but no doubt St Kilda would have put a lot of work into Cameron, as we see a few of the re-signings there, Jace. Well, that's exciting news for them, isn't it? In particular, to get players like Jeremy Cameron committing long-term, and then the flow-on effect with players like the co-captain Phil Davis, Devon Smith and Adam Tomlinson. They're terrific young talents. All of a sudden they want to keep this group together. Patton, Kelly, Toby Green, the list goes on. If they can keep them together, that's going to be the big if. They do have some exciting times ahead. Well, they've re-signed these guys for a couple of seasons there. They're the guys that are out of contract in 2015, so I'm sure Graham Allen will be doing some good work. Well, been good enough to steal a couple of minutes from the coach of the GWS Giants, Leon Cameron. Welcome to you, Leon.
G'day, Jace. Spud, how are you?
Mate, tell me about Leon Cameron, the coach, 12 months down the track after he started. What have you learned? How have you improved?
Nearly as grey as Spud already. Hair's going great. No, look, it's obviously it's a huge task, but you know, really, really thoroughly enjoy it. You don't really know until you're actually in the hot seat. 10 years of experience as an assistant is fantastic grounding, but until you actually get in there, it comes from every which way. Speaking of experience, folks, it must make your job a hell of a lot easier getting Griffin and Patfull. So 2 experienced guys, one at the back end, as you know, you need a really good strong defender, of course, Griffin from the Bulldogs. Yeah, you're right, Spud. And look, every time we played last year when Mumford and Shaw sort of played, or Hunt, we were a lot more competitive. We've added those 2 lads to our squad, which is great, and that gives that experience in the midfield and the back end.
Well, it's interesting, we just had a look at some of the re-signings. A lot of the young guns that you've re-signed, most of them committing for a number of years. At what stage do we stop talking about development, Leon, and say, OK, they're here, they've arrived, it's ready to start putting the results on the board?
We're coming into our 4th year, Jason. We significantly have to improve on our 6 wins last year. I thought probably at the back end of last year we started to probably look at that and say, well, we're competing for longer. We'll still have ups and downs because we're the youngest side in the competition. But I think that tag's probably just about gone, and we need to start to perform. And our players expect that now. The internal expectation is lifted, and no doubt, externally it's lifted as well.
Leon, we appreciate your time, mate. Good luck today and have a great 2015.
Thanks, guys.
Good on you, Bucks. Good on you,
Just about time to get down to business here at Etihad Stadium. It is the round 1 clash between St Kilda and GWS. The first bounce coming up right after the break. Don't go away.
It's an exciting time for every team and for every fan, and no different for the Saints. As they hit Etihad Stadium, we're getting close to the bounce. Let's hear from the coach, Alan Richardson.
Well, Richard, after a pretty tough week for your skipper Nick Riewoldt, you must be rapt to have him run out with you.
Yeah, it's good, Barry. There's no doubt. I mean, he's our captain. He's our best player. He's had a really tough time. There's no doubt about it. His teammates are pretty keen to do the right thing. There's a fair chance they're going to kick it to him even if he had half the opposition on him. He's going to draw a crowd. We know that. But we just hope that we perform strongly in terms of our effort and our performance across 4 quarters to honour him.
And it seems he's going to have a bit of a support today. Membry and Bruce look pretty comfortable down there in the pre-season.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty new look forward line. Obviously, Ahmed Saad is in the group. Young Jack Loney will play today. Sinclair is sub, but he'll end up coming on and playing a bit of a role in the forward. No, that's really exciting. Tim's only played 1 senior game of AFL footy, so he's going to take a while. But today, all we want him to play his role, and that is to lead strongly and compete strongly and defend when it's his turn. And Bruce is a beauty. His work rate is outstanding. He'll give us a really good contest.
And you're still developing and improving your list. 3 rookies in today. They must be pretty excited.
Yeah. Well, Snines is he's certainly on the older scale of rookies, but no, it's good to have his experience in the team, and it's a pretty young, particularly forward line where he'll play. It is. It's really good. I mean, that's where we're at as a footy club, but they wouldn't be selected if it is. We didn't think they could play their role. Their form has been good. We're looking forward to the performance.
And you spoke about Ahmed Saad, 18 months out of the game. You give him another chance to have a crack at AFL footy. He must be pretty pumped. Yeah, no, look,
he's trained really strongly. His form, Barry, in the NAB Challenge has been good. He's, as I said, that forward line is very much a new look, and he's going to form part of that. He'll play a little bit in the midfield, but predominantly he'll play forward, and we just need him to play his role.
Thanks for your time.
Good on you, Bass.
Alan Richardson entering his 2nd year as the coach of the Saints. It looked like Sandy Roberts, there's a bit of passion out there amongst the Saints, not just the fans, but the players, as Nick Riewoldt spoke to them just before the start of this game.
Well, I think they'd be feeling that emotion that Nick's been feeling in the past few weeks as well. But the worrying thing for the Saints, Hutto, is that the gap between these two sides is closing. They've met 3 times. The first time they met, St Kilda belted them by 128 points. The second time, it was down to 72 points. The last time they met, just 7 points separated the two sides. So just about set to go.
Delaney and Cameron, a little bit of body work early.
That matchup will have a big bearing on the way this match unfolds, you suspect, as well.
Huge test for St Kilda. Billy Longer up against Mumford. Longer goes high, but Mumford read it better. Weller tries to get the ball out towards Armitage. He's successful there. The Saints through Stephen go up towards the half-forward line. Hayne is in front, but he couldn't complete the mark. Now an opportunity for Bruce up towards centre half-forward. The ball spills free at the back. Here's Eli Templeton. Great to see him back, but he's lost the football. Haynes again. Comes wide. Bruce is there, couldn't take it. He's got support through Stephen. Jack's kick is a poor one, however, and Davis defends.
Yeah, well, Davis stayed at home there. His direct opponent, I think, was Bruce, who's up the ground, got a couple of touches.
Haynes been prominent so far, and again, getting assistance from Green. Now there's something going on off the ball. Will it be downfield, or will it have to go all the way back?
Looks like it's going back to Toby Green. Yeah. Maybe just being held off the ball. But I guess he does.
There it is, Dylan Robertson bumping him off the ball. Good decision for the umpire.
It's almost one of those, though, that you take a player out where he can't get back involved with the play. Should be a 50.
Yeah. So Toby Green, who, despite his issues off-field last year, really knuckled down when he came back, and looks set for a big season for the Giants. He drives it up, and the towering figure of Mumford was prominent. Kelly came through, did what he could. Palmer a bug as they maintain possession. Some uncertainty there.
Oh, great tackle, Robertson.
Just second-guessed himself.
He did.
Palmer needed to throw it on the boot. But I reckon a few people were surprised to see Billy Longer preferred to Tom Hickey as the #1 ruck choice for St Kilda.
Yeah, horses for courses, Jace. I think the bigger frame of Longer versus Mumford versus the lighter frame of Tom Hickey.
Robertson short to Savage. Savage just forward of the wing. Penetrating kick. Inside 50.
Oh, beautiful kick.
Strong mark taken by Membry.
And it was on Heath Shaw too, and that's a real win for Alan Richardson there, having Heath Shaw having to defend deep. So,
well, look, it looks like a long bomb in, but what the kick from Savage did was isolate a one-on-one contest, and that's all the forwards wants. And in particular, Membry, he's a mid-sized forward. You wouldn't say he's a big forward, he's a mid-sized, but he gets an opponent that he feels he can outbody in Heath Shaw.
And of course, he's playing his second AFL game, playing one with Sydney.
Yep. Directly in front. This would be a great start for the Saints. 30 metres out. An easy run up. He leans back and kicks the goal. And St Kilda open the scoring.
It's his first kick for the Saints.
Well, it's much better than that.
That's a good start.
That's a very good start.
But what
You're
they
right
need
with Savage there. Have a look at the kick here. It's gone 65 metres.
He's a long kick, Savage.
And Heath Shaw lost the body on Membry there, and that was the key. I mean, Membry got out behind him and then attained the front position. Heath Shaw, you could see searching, but it was all too late. That's a very good contested mark from Membry.
Core is alongside him now, but it was Heath Shaw that was left one-on-one with him, and as the boys have alluded to, if they can manage to do that, a bit St Kilda with so much attention down there on Nick Revolt, some of the other players are going to have some opportunities which they need to capitalise on. And they've started well in the midfield. Jack Stephen, one of their prime movers now. Savage, he's on that list of players who were injured during the pre-season, but he's got his body right just in time for round one, which could be really critical for St Kilda.
Yeah, well, that's why he's down there, Hutto, for his ball use. He's very clever decision maker, Shane Savage.
Got amongst it already. Big Billy Longer goes to full forward. Revolt third in line. Disciplined defence. Loney was buzzing around, but here's Patfull. Should be a welcome addition to this backline so far, which is under siege right now. Longer with the centering ball. It gave 4 Giants the opportunity. McCarthy took his with good aggression, earned a free, waste no time. Ward charged forward, had nothing ahead. Ball got stuck in his pocket for a moment. Back to McCarthy. He started it. Can he finish it? Can he finish it? Whoa.
Gee, that would have been a good goal to get back up after earning the free kick and get involved in the play again. Terrific effort.
Magnificent goal, but Longer's kick far too long in the air. Yep. Geary was on his own, but he had to understand that was a 50-metre kick and players can run 30 metres.
Shenton to bring it back into play. Heads to the outer side towards Fisher, who's forced to defend. Not a big crowd, but an enthusiastic crowd for these two sides looking to climb the ladder. St Kilda 4 wins last year, the Giants 6. Mumford and Longer again. Longer got a hand to it, but that was all. Shield trying to go wide towards Griffin. What an asset he is going to be for this club. Back to Shield under the pump, just wobbles it down inside 50. Scully had it and lost it. Goes again for a second attempt. Loses it again. Tries a third time. He's gang tackled.
Yeah, it's pretty hot in there. A lot of fumbles. You expect that in round one. Both sides going extremely hard at the hard ball at the minute.
Longer thrown out of the way. It ricochets off the head of Ward. Back towards Savage, who gives it to Schneider. A chance for Geary. Saints out of trouble once again.
But for how long? Haynes takes the mark. Been prominent so far. He went down in round 8 last year. They had a lot of trouble with injuries in their back half, the Giants. Talented player, though. And he's got the angle okay. The Scully. Just pushing the friendship a bit there, Jack Newnes.
Made him earn it, didn't he?
And onto that left. It's going to have plenty on it. Now Cameron gets a run, drops a bit short. He hits the pack hard. Saints defence, though, working just as hard. Geary takes it over the line and out of bounds.
Really good play there from Longer, just getting back to support his defence to try and get a fist on that long ball.
Plenty of bodies in the little 30-metre area where this ball's going to be thrown into play. Tomlinson looking to come across. And improvising the ruck down to Devon Smith. They're dangerous around goal. Got clear, Whitfield, he's put it through.
That's a clever kick.
So the Giants on the board in a significant fashion take the lead, and it's Lockie Whitfield, who you would suspect after a few injury problems but showing his talent in the first couple of years would be ready to play a significant role this season.
Well, Templeton will be disappointed with that tackling effort there. He looked at the ball far too often. You see Whitfield just show him the ball and then bring it to the right. You've got to watch the hips in that situation and lower your body, low feet. Yeah, he got stepped far too easy, but really good finish there from Whitfield.
8 goals last year for Whitfield, and he gets the first for the Giants, the 20-year-old. Goes back with Longer and a heavily strapped Mumford. Shades of Paul Roos in the old days with those mattresses on the thighs. Here's Haynes, had a very good start.
Dude, it's great running from Mumford.
And Mummy, look at him go on the outer wing. Steady as she goes. Up towards the half-forward line. His target was Palmer. Taken to the line.
Yeah, Billy Longer's got to be aware that Mumford outside the stoppages. He might be a big man, Mumford, but can he cover the ground?
So inside the Giants, attacking 50 once more. Tomlinson coming in against Longer on that occasion. Forced wide, chance for Treloar to get the hand pass, but intercepting was Rewalt, who's a long, long way from home, goes up towards Bruce on centre wing. He's outgunned and outnumbered. It's Patfull who takes the mark and drifts play in towards the centre, finds his man there in Kelly. The left footer goes long, inside 50 once again. Mumford was in the pack, but he couldn't complete the mark. Scully gets the hand pass out once more. Pressure now on Fisher. He loses the footy. Was he held? Yes, he was, and he's going to get the free kick, a chance to relieve the pressure for the Saints.
It's okay for Nick Rewalt when he got that kick, but unfortunately Patfull stayed back, and Nick kicked the ball straight to his direct opponent. So the GWS defence at the moment are happy for their half-forwards to loiter up, but they'll stay at home.
Jack Stephen along that City wing, and Rewalt had 3 to contend with. It is a strong GWS midfield, Jace, isn't it? Just ever developing every year, getting stronger in number as well. As the addition of Ryan Griffin will only help matters.
Yeah, but what that means is there's going to be better supply to the forward line, so they become a more potent team. Jack Stephen, plenty of zip as he goes short to Rewalt. It's well out in front of Davis. Onto the left. Hoiks it to about 35. Patfull the third up. Haynes with a great aggression. Handball went almost through the legs of Treloar. And then over the top, they've flicked it out nicely. Green, and he goes again. Treloar takes the free and the advantage. Tomlinson onto the boot as quick as he could. He's outnumbered down there. Cameron, a bit of a standoff. Tried to knock it away. It was successfully Delaney. And the Saints using those extra bodies to work the ball out of defence and trying to reload through the middle of the ground. Shenton dabs the pass. There was an element of danger about that. Gets there well enough. And off to Dunstan from Armitage, chipping it up towards the 50, wide of Sard, and it goes over and out.
Yeah, I think the best option there was to go long to Rewalt there. He had the one-on-one deep. Good lead from Sard.
Interesting thing about Joel Patfull, Spud, we've spoken about he has a good record on Rewalt.
Yep.
He's playing on Eli Templeton at the moment, and then he drifts off and he plays that third tall so well.
Well, that's why
the flexibility of him as a player, he can play key position or small.
Well, that's why Eli Templeton now has to be accountable for Patfull, or lead into a dangerous area, because if he doesn't, Patfull will double team Rewalt.
Good smother by Dylan Shield. Forces another throw in. Tomlinson tried to do it with the one hand. Schneider hurriedly inside 50 once more. Haynes has been in absolutely everything. Clever tap towards Bug. Forehand pass. Templeton in trouble. Flicked in front of goal. Goes over the top. Nunes. Can he get there in time? Davis is there with him. Nunes tries to flick it further afield. He does so now to Rewalt. Rewalt finds a little bit of space. Comes towards the half-forward line. His target there was Savage. Flicks it in towards Schneider, who takes the mark.
Really well done from Rewalt there.
There's a couple of defensive issues that wouldn't have pleased Leon Cameron. Thomas Bug with a hand pass over his head into unknown territory, deep in the back pocket's poor, and then Phil Davis should have taken that ball over the boundary line.
But what would be pleasing Alan Richardson is the forward line pressure.
Yes.
There's no easy out for the GWS defence at the moment.
Not a good start for Tommy Bug. It's his 50th game today and it's his birthday, so let's hope things improve. Here's Schneider. Kicking from 51 metres. Lovely looking kick off the boot. Saints have got their second.
Promoted off the rookie list on Thursday. Very old rookie.
He's no rookie.
He's no rookie, but the experience just showed there, and it was a really, as you said, Jace, Phil Davis had an opportunity here, no doubt whatsoever. I think his intent was there, but he went over the top of the ball. Really good play from Rewell, keeping the ball in play, and Robertson just looked inboard to Schneider, and that's all Schneider needs, half a chance.
Goal number 251 in Adam Snyder's career.
One thing the Saints are doing extremely well is the clearance numbers at the moment, 6-3 in their favour. So working well in and under the Saints midfield.
Mumford. Bruce tried to come through, but
well, this is where GWS have to really attack, because you've got Bruce starting in the forward half now on Mumford. So maybe a third man up for the Saints.
well, watching every move that Ryan Griffin makes, and Well was able to get a boot to it, stick it up, and Membry came charging forward. Tenya almost got in his way as he tries to hit a target inside the 50. Revolt was in the hustle and the bustle. Whitfield slammed into the turf at Etihad. Great aggression from the Saints. And a high tackle, maybe a little bit too aggressive. Free kick goes to Heath Shaw. They need a steadying influence down there, the Giants. They're under siege when the Saints are pushing it forward.
Yeah, they'd probably like just to hit a couple of targets and buy a little bit of breathing space, because St Kilda started very well.
Sure.
Well, that's not going to get him out of dodge. High ball back into full forward. Revolt with the run. Oh, he threw everything at it, as he always does. Davis with a hack kick, and he's still not out of the danger. Stephen was right on that line.
Again, that forward-line pressure. We saw it yesterday, Hutto, with Melbourne Football Club. They were terrific with their forward-line pressure, and there's Rewalt, as we accustomed to, going for the high ball.
Good start by St Kilda. Can they maintain it? Ball bounces towards centre wing. Opportunity now for Fisher if he can get there in time. He does. Needs assistance and gets it in the form of Shenton.
It's a wobbler.
Stably old kick inside 50, and Patfull cops one.
Yeah, not much he can do, Josh Bruce. Oh. Patfull turned around with the head down, looking for an escape route, and ran straight into it.
A little bit lucky in some ways.
Yeah. He's going to go short to Shield in the last line of defence.
And this is what Danny Frawley was talking about. The defensive work rate is causing some real issues for GWS, because St Kilda aren't giving them time to dispose, and they're not giving them space.
Whitfield gets them going once again to McCarthy. Now they're away through Trelaw. He's still going. He's got the runners out wide and uses them. Whitfield, floating kick in towards full forward. Chance there for Palmer. Away to the left and one behind.
Good transfer play there from GWS.
Saw Griffin go forward. Be interesting to see if he tries that on the night.
I think he's been spending a bit of time forward in the NAB challenge. Long adjust on the ground here.
And tries to present as a target, but Patfull was onto that.
I just noticed there that GWS went one-on-one, so maybe St Kilda can try something different there. If they're going one-on-one, maybe bunch up in a huddle. They look pretty one-on-one to me, Jace. They're kicking.
Promising start by St Kilda here, but Giants with their turn to attack inside the 50. Stephen, Kelly, straight into Dunstan, clever to get ball to boot. Shield has been very prominent so far. Hampton a shrug of the shoulders, and they're inside again, but not that well placed, although Palmer does well. Again, a bit of a speculative handball. Josh Kelly, undoubted class. He's ready to unleash. He just misses there.
Savage.
Well, anytime you see Shane Savage take a kick out, you know it's not going to be a short chip kick into the pocket.
There's a free kick there in the back, I think.
He's got a 60-metre drop punt, and he'll use it on most occasions.
So Weller, the recipient, on the half-back flank, to send the Saints down towards Rewalt. As we know, covers an enormous amount of territory. And you won't miss him today in the fluorescent orange boots. Schneider.
The reason why they're possessing the ball, GWS have just flipped one behind the ball at the moment, so they've got to try and hit an uncontested mark outside the corridor of the Saints.
Robertson finds Geary. Geary, a somewhat tentative bounce, then he gets clear and he goes long. Now Evo Templeton will be waiting down, but it's fisted towards the line and beats him over. We've got to throw in the left forward pocket.
That's where Membry had to be there for the long ball. I think he was looking for the one a little bit further. And Jack Laney on that occasion had to compete for the high ball.
Longer, looking for Armitage, isn't going to find him, however. Kelly was there. Advantage is paid, and the Giants drift down towards Palmer. He couldn't take the mark, however. It was strongly taken by Shenton.
He started well, Shenton.
He has. Plays on straight away. Finds Stephen, who's been in the thick of things.
Yeah, disposal number 7, Sandy.
Yeah, had a really good start, but we know he's a ball magnet. Here's Nunes.
Geary wide.
To the outer side, and that's where he heads. Montagna. Some are a little surprised that he lined up today following that knee surgery, but it's good to see him out there. Now an opportunity once again for the Saints to go towards a re-walt, and eventually taken over the line.
Free kick, I think,
It has too, and it's going to the Giants.
Not sure about the handball from Montagna outside the corridor, Jace. It made it too easy. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty clear free kick. Well, I think they're endeavouring just to get it in the best ball user's hands, although you'd rather have seen him come on the inside to receive the hand.
Makes it very easy to defend, though, when you're deep in the pocket.
Good system on the way out that time for the Giants.
Clever kick.
Either out in the back
Placed
here.
well. If he looked up, he had another one down the line, but despite the demands of Reece Palmer, he's ignored. Goes deeper, hoping to bring Jeremy Cameron into the game.
Well, that was a good kick because Billy Longer was the loose that was back. The ruckman had dropped behind play, so he kicked it far enough away from Longer to make a one-on-one contest. He also kicked it into space, which allowed Cameron just to use his athleticism to get there. And in the end, he took an uncontested chest mark.
Well, he did, because what happened is Shenton had to come up, and then Delaney took his man, which meant Dempster ended up on Cameron. But Longer, I think, had to be better there to try and cause a spillage.
Slow, wasn't it?
Just 29 goals last year, Jeremy Cameron, as he battled various injury and ailments. And that is a beautiful strike. And just steadies the ship for the Giants.
Well, I think the good thing from a Giants perspective, if you're a Giants fan, you'd be thrilled that St Kilda have started so well, but the Giants have just hung in there and they're actually leading the game when they probably haven't had as much of the play as the Saints have. And there's Billy Long. You can just see he was battling a little bit. He was trying to work back into the space, but probably just didn't have the leg speed to cover the ground.
Well, he had to have a look around to see who the dangerous player was. He was only going to one person, and that was Cameron, so he had to find a way to get there.
3 points the margin in favour of the Giants. But a positive start by both sides as he takes the call after kicking the goal. Could have been a free kick here to Mummy. No.
Yeah, Shepherd.
Well. And Mummy's absolutely flabbergasted too. But they go down into that forward line once again. Haynes been sensational in defence. Strong mark, and he plays on now. Gets away from Sard. Kicks up towards centre wing, but Robertson is there, and he takes the mark unopposed.
Tomlinson a little bit unlucky there. I thought Fisher might have got into his back, but anyway.
Classic case, though. Classic case of Haynes playing on before he knew what was there.
Robertson up towards the forward line once again. Here's little Ahmed Sard. He gives it to Schneider onto the left boot. He tries to bend it back. Over the top it goes from one pocket to the other to Bruce, who sees it over the line.
Yeah, they've had enough opportunities, the Saints, Jace. It's 14 inside 50s now for only 2 scores. So you'd have to say that the GWS defence is stood up under pressure.
Well, they're in that same situation again right now because the Saints have got numbers around the ball. They're diving all over it. Trying to find a way out. Dunstan. And he might get a free here.
Yeah, well done. We know he's strong over the ball, Dunstan, and he just kept at it. Just a stronger body in the end.
Just about out too, the Giants.
As we know, he missed the latter part of the season with the shoulder reconstruction.
Started last year in brilliant fashion.
From memory, I think he was the first NAB Rising star, round 1. Dunstan. Just a bit of replay there.
Towards the end of the year, as you said, with an injury or two, but still looking to improve on his kicking. And this is a good chance to show some improvement right now. Dunstan comes in for the Saints, and that was an arrow through the middle to regain the lead.
Well, they need it at the Saints. They needed that because the time inside the forward half is definitely weighed in front of the St Kilda Football Club with 14 inside 50s to 9 in the three majors. You can just see here the strength of Dunstan, and Traore in the end, just at the last minute, did get into his back, so the umpire was all over that. It was a very good kick, as I said, Hutto. It's an area of his game he needs to work on, but not much wrong with that, Jace.
Seesawing struggle. It's the Saints now by 3. Just under 5 minutes remaining.
Sorry, Sandy, you spoke about it, Spud. There's just an inefficiency going forward from the Saints, but the effort is there. So Alan Richardson will be pretty happy. The tackling is 10 to 4 at this stage, so he'd be pretty happy for its on.
Barry Hall down on the boundary line. Thank you, Baz. Ward locked up in the middle.
Yeah, and I think he's hit the nail on the head, Baz. Alan Richardson's going to get to the quarter-time huddle and go, hey, if this is the standard we're setting, we're going to be in games for long periods of time.
Mumford tries to flick it out the back towards Bug, who gives it off to Kelly, who just flicks it short. It's going to be okay. The diving mark is going to be paid.
I'm with you, Spud. I reckon he held it, but
you reckon we should have a review?
I think we'll have another look at it. I think the umpire was blinded on that occasion.
Tomlinson will accept it, however, and he gives it to Ward.
50
metres. That's going to bring him to within 15 metres of goal.
You know,
he couldn't stop.
Robertson didn't really do a lot wrong, but he allowed himself just to get tangled up with Callum Ward, and he didn't need to. He needed to pull up and just stop him from playing on.
We'd have to ask the question from the Saints midfield, how did Callum Ward get so free in that area of the ground? Robertson came from defence.
He was there for quite a while too, Spud.
Yeah, he was.
Well, Luke Dunstan's been playing on him in the early part of the quarter. I don't know what happened on that occasion, whether it was a rotation or not.
So a virtual gimme goal here for Callum Ward, 20 metres out, directly in front. He gets his first, and the seesawing league continues. Now it's the Giants.
Well, it's a great contest. It's as simple as that. And GWS at the moment, they're kicking their goals far too easily. Let's have a look at this. Did it? Yes.
Oh, that's
about
no mark.
5 times.
That's no mark at all.
Wowee. Well, that's one they need back there, the Saints. But there's Callum Ward coming off the midfielder, just out of screen there. Just saw his feet. It wasn't.
Got his legs tangled up. Just have a look. You'll see the legs tangle up, and that's what trips him.
Yeah, wasn't a lot in it.
He didn't need to do it.
So a little bit of luck goes a long, long way there. Yeah. The Giants are in front once again. Shield with 8 disposals, 7 for Stephen. Leading possession winners. Shield gets himself another couple and takes them out to the wing.
And on the outside.
Gee, he breaks well from the centre clearances, Mumford.
Scully bursting, getting it deep. Cameron over the top. Palmer didn't fly in the end, stayed down. Ball hits the ground with Dunstan in good shape to keep it moving for the Saints. It's been an airy handball, wasn't it? And poor old Geary, unfortunately, the ball took a long time to get to him.
Yeah, look, in the end, he was looking for a handball. If you're going to make a mistake, make a long one. But to his credit, he was trying to look for a teammate, but the tackle was far too good. But Mumford again out of the centre clearance. That's the issue.
As soon as he sees the ball's a chance of getting collected by his players, he's off. He pushes forward, he bolts forward into space, and they use him.
They've got to cut the supply there. A wingman may need to stay at home or get the runner out to Billy Longer.
Devon Smith, who's normally
just scraped in.
Pretty keen for a goal, misses that one.
And there's plenty of feeling out there. They're at each other. It's physical, it's aggressive, and there's a bit of lip going on too.
Devon Smith kicked 5 against the Saints when they met.
It was very early
last year. Yeah, round 2.
Adam Schneider just missed everything.
Well, he's the best kick. So
Griffin,
you won't see that too many times from Adam Schneider.
Just put too much weight on it, straight over the head of Lee Montagna.
Too much adrenaline.
Ryan Griffin.
He's having a go at it now, I think.
What a pick-up he's been. Goes close to the man on the mark.
Oh, wow.
Good-looking kick. And one behind.
Very tough for him from that pocket, given his kicking style. He really arcs out to the right. He also got very close to the man on the mark.
Savage brings it in towards Dempster. High ball close to the boundary line. Poor kick. Nothing Jack Stephen could do about that. Out of bounds on the full.
The endeavour's okay. They're just missing a few targets. So it's, you don't panic.
Green gives it away once again. Now where's Cameron? He can't get clear. There's a wall of red, white and black, but Scully can. Was he legged?
Oh, that was a beautiful tackle. He was away.
He saved a goal there.
No, there's no doubt in that.
That was a cracking tackle.
I'll tell you what, Dempsey did well too. He was the one that kicked the ball. He got back to get in front of Cameron to force that spoil. But what a tackle from Robin.
Well, that tackle from Robin makes up for the goal and the 50-metre penalty he gave away. And now
Montagna.
Luke Delaney's torched the footy.
Oh, yeah, he's given it away. Phil Davis, speaking of torch. Jiminy cricket.
What is that?
Well, it's interesting to say the least. Eli is in dreadful trouble. Templeton gang tackled by 3.
It is a cracking contest. I mean, there's a few skill errors, a few ordinary kicks and decisions, but gee, we're enjoying the contest.
Good to have Jiminy Cricket brought back into commentary too, Jace. 23 plays, 18. Oh, that's going to be head high.
Yeah. It's a bit overzealous. The intent was there.
The infringer there. Just beyond the 52 for Reece Palmer.
He's looking to handball this Palmer. See Hampton there.
You wouldn't think he has the journey. So whether he sets it up, whether he chips a pass.
Heathshaw's just behind him. Here he goes.
Here it is.
He had a quick look at him and thought, no.
He's going to put it top of the square.
Yep.
Oh, it might have been just too short.
Well read.
Mumford got worked off the ball, and then there was no one else there.
It was better from Longer. That's what Longer has to do, Jace.
Savage is starting into the back pocket, driving it, hoping for Delaney, but hopes the word core. Did everything but take the mark. They've been interfered with, but play on the call. Robertson will do that. Weller did well, kept it in St Kilda hands. Armitage sliced the kick. Templeton had some options that they've been mostly covered now. Here's Revolt to come hard. Shaw battling above his head, did a nice job. Got it to Hampton, back to Shaw, and he's drilled the pass to Whitfield. And the Giants look a bit more composed than they did in the first half of this quarter.
36 seconds remaining in the term. Whitfield called to go now from half back. Goes short to McCarthy. He goes long towards Mumford. There's a big pack of players there though. Thrown out towards Dempster. Gets it away to Geary. Geary gives a little ground to Fisher. Fisher thought about Montagna. Then goes right across the ground, almost dangerously to memory. He had to mark that ball and he didn't. Nunes has got to tidy up now and he does. To the outer side, that's okay to Jack Stephen, who picks up yet another possession, although the siren robs him of it in the end. An entertaining term here at Etihad Stadium, an even contest. The Giants, though, 8 scoring shots at goal and the Saints only 3, but it's just a 5-point ball game. The Giants 3-5-23. St Kilda 3 straight 18. Quarter time here at Etihad Stadium, an entertaining first term. It's the Giants leading by 5 points, 3-5-23 to St Kilda. 3 straight goals. Briefly, your impressions, Jason Dunstall, of the first term.
I thought it was a good aggressive contest, and Kilda started particularly well. They're hard at it. They're putting great pressure on in their forward 50, but if they're not a little more efficient with the ball, I think GWS have got just a few more options.
And Spud, it could be a long day for Billy Longer.
Oh, no doubting that. I think that the fact that I looked at the ruck coach who was talking to Billy Longer. Mumford, after the centre bounce, is pushing hard to the wing. He has to stop spectating Billy Longer and be accountable, because you've got to cut the supply to the GWS forwards. And Shields another one that's getting off the hook, Sandy, for GWS. He's had 11 disposals. Toby Green with 7, but you'd have to be happy with St Kilda's work rate around the ball. I think the contested ball is very even, the clearances are even. It's a really good contest. There's a lot of mistakes out there, but it's pretty hot in the kitchen.
What about the debut of the senior boys that have come to the Giants, like Ryan Griffin?
No, Griffin's been good, but I think St Kilda's entries, Jace, and you have a look at the amount of entries, Rewalt conscious.
All right, let's go down to the ground now. Barry Hall is with Aaron Hamill. Baz?
Yeah, Sammy, he must be really pleased with the effort. For one, the tackling's been a real feature, but the repeat inside 50s also has been a positive.
Yeah, we need to be a little bit more effective going in. We need our smalls to get in there and not being so lateral, but +5 in tackles is a good start for us.
Yeah, been a little bit inefficient, and there's a lot of numbers around Nick Rewalt. Are we looking at other options this quarter?
Yeah, look, we just need to lower our eyes. We know that Nick's such a dominant player up there for us, so if we can get him out and be a decoy at times that'll help our other key forwards leading into the spots.
What's the instructions to the players for the second quarter?
Oh, look, just keep going. Really, basically, how we need to win the ball. Clearly, we need to tackle and we need to be effective coming through the corridor and lower our eyes. That's the main message.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
Former Carlton and St Kilda star Aaron Hamill.
He looks like you, Baz and Jace. He's starting to lose his feathers a little bit there, Aaron Hamill.
Hanging on to what he's got, Spud.
He needs to let it go, mate.
We suggested exactly just what Aaron Hamill said. They want more of the same St Kilda. The effort's good. They're breaking even in contested possessions and clearances, so they're around the mark. They've just got to try and use the ball a little better.
To answer your question too, Sandy, because we had to shoot down to the bottom, but Griffin, I think Weller's done an outstanding job keeping Griffin to the 2 disposals.
Giants have only laid 7 tackles in that first quarter to Saints 13. So we'll see if they can apply a bit more pressure in the second term. They do have the lead, though, the visitors, looking for their first win ever against St Kilda.
There goes Mumford again, bolting.
Treloar takes them forward. Scully trying to track it down, but there's 3 or 4 Saints in attendance. And one of them, Shane Savage, has done a terrific job so far. It's a hurried kick, though, and it opens it up for the Giants through Davis. Takes it to Whitfield. The leads are coming thick and fast. He ignores McCarthy and swings it back in. Was hoping for Mumford, but Weller filled the hole nicely. And now Armitage has got the Saints moving, hopefully through Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce takes the mark in opposition to Hayne, who had a very good first term. Rewalt wide, too wide. Just keeps it in play, but then smothered.
You just got to hit that target. I like the work rate of Bruce, but it's just disposal and hitting the targets. Rewalt was on his own. You don't get many opportunities to hit the champ up.
And that leads to him getting frustrated there.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for him today. Here's Longer, claimed by Ward.
There's Weller there, just at the bottom of the screen, doing a very good job on Griffin.
Mumford got a hand to it, but that was all. Green lurking. Stephen, a ripping tackle. Cry of ball goes up from the pro St Kilda crowd, but to no avail. Jack picks himself up, having signed that 5-year contract. He'll be a Sainter for life, hopefully. Here's Griffin towards Green, up towards centre wing to Palmer and co, but Dempster almost threw that out towards Shenton. That was an effective hand pass. Now they come back once again to Weller. Weller's hand pass a little too high for Dempster. Beautiful tackle. Locked up one arm, and there was nothing he could do, and he's going to lose the football.
See, there's been some great tackling at the start of this game. That was just nothing you do with that tackle. Outstanding.
Palmer with plenty of penetration on the kick. Cameron's got to run it.
Nearly took it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he got up there.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Oh, beautiful leap. Yeah, just turned him in the body there, Delaney, on the jump. So pretty good effort in the end.
They'll get out of there, the Saints. For how long? As Whitfield's got the opportunity. The ball wasn't too kind to him, and now he gives away the free. Templeton takes the advantage. Patfield ready to try and chop it off, but Heathshaw did it on his own in the end. Takes the mark.
You got it?
Bit of traffic directing, trying to swing play back to the dock side of the ground. Treloar with the angled kick through the middle. Tomlinson brings Griffin into the game and back to Treloar. Back to Tomlinson. They were one handball away from disaster, but as it turned out, it got safely through to Hampton. Had to twist and turn himself. Mumford's the big target. There's very few bigger, but Dempster had a nice ride. Griffin starting to get the feel for the footy now. Toby Green from the stand start blew it away, and it just sneaks in for the minor.
Beautiful roving there from Ryan Griffin.
Starting to get their gun midfielders
into the game early in this second quarter.
Into open space.
You mentioned Griffin. He'd been so well held by Weller in the first quarter. He's had 3 early touches in the second term.
Again, man on man in the kick-ins.
So the Giants threatening. Pressure here on Savage. Scully there as well. Geary first to it. Towards Savage once more. Tries to go out the back door, but stolen. Beautifully done by Green. He gets clear. He's 48 metres out. Goes in towards full forward. Going to drop short, however. And once again, the Saints defenders doing well. Shenton takes the mark.
Jet Evers are doing really well in the kick-ins and the one-on-ones.
Dangerous here. He was looking for Armitage. It was wide. And the advantage is paid, and is the goal going to be kicked?
Yeah, it's a goal.
Yeah. Disappointment there for the Saints.
We just can't defend those kicks. You just cannot defend a short pass that goes over the top of Armitage.
It was strange the way Armitage went for it, though. He just put the one hand up. It seemed as though perhaps he was off. Look, the kick's behind him. But you thought he could have put 2 arms up there. I still think he may have been able to mark the ball. Maybe he just misjudged it. But I'm glad McCarthy kicked the goal, because if you play on when a bloke's got a set shot 20 out almost directly in front, you'd want to kick the goal.
It was a strange passage of play, wasn't it?
It was.
Even the free kick was a little bit doubtful, and yet, as you said, Jace, he took the advantage. McCarthy had to kick the goal. Thankfully for him, he did. Just his second goal for the Giants in his second game, and they're starting to go now. Shields been excellent since the start of the game. It was a rushed handball, so well done the Saints, but they are under increasing pressure in defence. And they have to be careful not to cough it up again. Tanya kicks it back to half-back. Billy Longer in the frame, and he did really well, but overwhelmed by numbers. Bug to Mumford. Now to Ward. He'll think about it. He gives. Trelaw capable from there. Plenty on the kick. It sails through. And they are clicking into gear.
Well, now it's the forward-line pressure for GWS. That was outstanding forward-line pressure. But Callum Ward, that was the play that I liked there. He took the tackler on. Have a look at Callum Ward. Take Schneider on.
Drew him in, didn't he?
Drew him in, and then bang. That's gone 60 metres. What a kick. Yeah, the real worry for the Saints now is the amount of free ball that GWS are getting on the outside.
Well, you could see the break there. He had Griffin on the other side if he wanted him to, so they had 3 of them breaking forward.
All of a sudden, the margin is out to 18 points, and the Giants are threatening.
Yeah, they've had all 6 inside 50s this quarter, GWS.
And it's starting with
5.
Mumford. Let's see what happens here. Longer wins it. Griffin couldn't take it out, but they win it out of the centre once again, up towards the 50. Belted clear, but for how long? That was Shenton trying to defend. In all sorts of trouble was Dunstan, wearing the number made famous by Lenny Hayes. Missing Lenny, no doubt about that. Cameron, the hand pass is okay towards Smith. Goes up towards full forward. Tomlinson is lurking. Tomlinson tries to paddle it forward. Can't do anything with it. He's still down on all 4s. Eventually the Saints will get out of trouble. Maybe. Robertson towards Schneider. Schneider, the look away hand pass. Puts pressure on Savage. He loses it, and eventually it's taken over the line. A little paddle for a throw in the left forward pocket.
A little bit of panic, a little bit of nerves down back for the Saints, because they've upped the tempo, GWS.
Well, they've had repeat entries. The defence for St Kilda are getting no respite whatsoever. That's 7 in a row at the start of this quarter. So they're under extreme heat, the defenders.
And it continues with Dempster. The kick is going to be shut down straight away by Kelly.
The other interesting thing is St Kilda's had 28 possessions to GWS's 26 in this second term. That's 7 inside 50s to 0 in favour of the Giants. So the game is predominantly at this end.
Yeah, but have a look at the St Kilda disposal winners though. Dempster, Shenton, Fisher, Savage, Geary.
They're under assault.
18 games last year, 4 of them as the sub. Still managed to average 17 disposals a game. An undoubted talent, but he leaves this one to the left, Josh Kelly. And the Giants have now had 12 scoring shots to 3. And their lead is at 19. Shane Savage has the ball at full back again.
So the defenders feeling the pinch. Rewald has come on down. Montagna away towards centre wing. They've got the numbers here, however. Weller went through with strength but lost the footy. Patfull has possession, gives it away quickly to a teammate there in Shaw. Now they look up towards the half-forward line, but it's been chopped off. What could St Kilda do? Just the 3 goals on the board. Haynes came a little too far underneath the footing. Memory has a long kick inside 50. Maybe an opportunity here. Schneider's in trouble. He gives it away towards Bruce. He's in real trouble, but he snaps. He did well to get boot to ball.
Didn't he?
And finishes up scoring it behind.
Really good defence though from GWS.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They are threatening. Here's Phil Davis out of sight of the ground, going up towards the wing.
Oh, up was the word, but Whitfield didn't bring it down.
Is that a free kick?
Well, he went up early, but he got a hand to it. He at least got a hand to it.
Membry scrounging around, Longer feeling the heat. Dunstan the next. It was just a matter of time. Inevitably, they turn it over. Ward swings it into Scully onto that left boot. It'll be a long kick into space. Plenty of leeway for McCarthy to run in.
Fisher.
Yeah, it was outstanding stuff by the experienced defender. And those legs of Jack Stephen working overtime. He kicked them. He's rushing. The Pistons are going again, Sandy. Here he goes, Jack Stephen. And they're bursting the Saints.
The little V8 goes down towards half forward. Davis tries to chop it off, but he gets claimed. He loses the footy. Taken over by Bruce. We've got to throw in.
A really regulation mark there, Phil Davis.
Yeah, it was a really good defensive effort from Fisher. That looked like a certain mark to McCarthy.
They're starting to break through the middle in numbers. That midfield is looking very, very threatening.
Treloar's the danger man at the moment. He's had 7.
18 points the margin. Here's Ward, also looking threatening. Gives it away to Whitfield, who finds Tomlinson. Hampton running through the middle. Penetrating hand pass towards Palmer. Palmer's 60 from home. Goes on to the left boot. Up towards Green, who takes the mark. Almost uncontested.
That's just a good option.
Yeah.
Good use of the footy. He had time to look Palmer. And so rather than bombing long or going automatically to Jeremy Cameron, he saw Toby Green in space on his own. And he gives him a set shot that you just expect, you know, a player at this level to be able to kick 9 times out of 10.
It was a really good clearance, wasn't it? Because it started on this side. They transferred through the middle of the ground, as you said, then looked up Whitfield and kicked to the opposite side of the ground again.
So Toby Green looking for his first goal and to stretch this lead. That's a poor kick off the boot.
It's what lets him down, isn't it? It's always been an issue for Toby Green. He doesn't have a problem finding the footy. He just needs to polish that up.
Well, he should have 2 on the board.
See the mumbling from both Toby and from the coach there.
Both going, yeah, I know. This is the problem.
So Saints dodge one there. They've kicked 2-3 for the quarter. It could well be a worse scenario than it already is. 5-8 plays 3-1. Shenton has the ball. And he's going to have to wheel all the way back. He's got Savage on offer if he wants to go back to the goal square. Instead, he's more aggressive in his intent. Gets it to Delaney. Maybe that'll open up that wing on the City side. Is it going to make it? No, Jeremy Cameron gets there before Schneider.
Yeah, I think the switch was to this side.
Yep.
There's no doubting that. Delaney looked the wrong way in the end.
So Tomlinson, the lone ruckman here, can just grab it if he wants. Oh, he tried to pat it down to Shield, and they've missed a big opportunity there.
Well, lack of communication from both sides. St Kilda didn't have the ruck there. I think Bruce is there now, but the GWS midfield was, as you said, Hutto, should have told Tomlinson to grab the ball.
And he gets to the front this time again, but skipping through Nunes. Shapes the ball back to half forward, but good aggression from Shaw.
He played on.
And he gets himself out of it, tried to redress the situation by Core, and then Bug, and then Hampton.
Oops.
He was looking a little dodgy down there. Darting this way now, Loney. What an outstanding bit of awareness from Loney in his first game. He looks every inch of footballer, and he finds Schneider, and the Saints fans find some voice.
Gee, he put the moves on Curtly Hampton, didn't he? He just made him look very pedestrian.
And to do that to Hampton as well, because he's got a few tricks up his sleeve as well. Recruited from the Dandenong Stingrays.
He's only small in stats, but I think he's got a bit of ability, Jack Loney.
Well, he's clean. He's clean with his ball handling and very clean with his foot skills.
So Adam Schneider, who kicked one early, that was important, but this much more so. They've been under siege in this quarter, the Saints. And a beautiful kick means they've reduced the margin to 13. That's his second.
A bit of magic there from the taken in the draft, the 2014 draft. Jack Loney and Schneider, as we said, promoted to the rookie list on Thursday. Really good play here, as you said. It's very hard to get around Kirtley and left and right.
That's clever.
And then lace out. Schneider just had to put the hands up and he did the rest. That's a very good finish there from Loney. I think we'll see a little bit more of that in the next few years.
So Schneider gets his second, thanks to the dashing little left-footer Jack Loney. And the Saints close the gap. Mumford and Longer again to do battle in the middle. Mumford just palms it down gently with the one hand. Griffin, who's just come off the bench, had it and then lost it, goes again, tries to push it out wide towards Mumford. He's successful, and here they go. This is Treloar. He's bouncing his way inside 50. Is this the quick reply? No, he's away to the right and one behind. But a great opportunity again, going begging for Treloar.
He takes small steps, but he gets across the ground quickly, doesn't he?
No one would have been happier with more than he that Ryan Griffin got picked up too, I think, because he was copping tags last year.
Savage over the top towards Stephen, back to Savage. He goes long towards Loney again. Big call. Had to beat Davis. And his man Hampton was lurking as well.
Davis playing boundary side and Nick Riewoldt there.
Gives a little ground to Scully. And they send it back from whence it came. Now he goes a little longer towards McCarthy and Ward. And, well, McCarthy does the roving work for Ward. Now Green spears it in towards the half-forward line. Poor kick once again, however. And Shenton is able to cut it off and go wide to Geary on the outer side.
Maybe the Saints with some momentum here. Geary, telling kick required, and he gets Membry.
That was about a 90-metre lead there from Membry.
Got Weller down the line, but that's now been cut off by Griffin, so nothing really for him.
If they can switch it, they've got open players out this side, the Saints.
Got the little Dustin Martin going.
Here we go, the switch.
Oh, Jack Stevens just queuing up for this.
Got to give it, Robertson.
So Robertson doesn't, because he's going to go goal square. Going to go for Riewoldt. Davis out of position, and McCarthy has telegraphed it too much.
It's a confusing option from Dylan Robertson.
I would have thought give it to Jack Stevens.
You've got players in space, including Jack Stevens, who's one of your gun midfielders with space to run, and you bomb it long looking for a target deep inside 50 when it's not really clear.
Gee, Devon Smith did well out, numbered, outsized, and he gets it over the boundary line and out of bounds. And McCarthy's done a couple of nice things.
He looks a very good player. One of the issues for St Kilda, it's skills are a problem at times, but it's also the decision making. They just don't choose the right option.
From the throw in, Longer down towards Dunstan, under pressure.
Good tackle.
Ward had it and then lost it. Loney just loses it.
Time there, Loney.
Palmer gives it off to Ward. Oh, he gets crunched by Weller.
Really
ripping tackle, and he didn't appreciate it.
Now he's got Riewoldt on the lead.
Who's sprinting to the footy, and he takes it. Still 80 metres away from home. Goes onto the left boot.
He played on and went out of bounds, Nick Riewoldt.
Dear.
He turned onto the left. I think he's gone over the boundary line.
Yeah.
I think Nick's arguing that he didn't hear a play on call, so for him it was just going back and taking the kick.
So Griffin, short, just tries to pinpoint it towards Palmer and co. The Saints, if they can get the next couple, they can hang in there, but they're having dreadful trouble, as we saw from Billy Longer. Shields picking up plenty of possessions. Griffin coming into the game as a high tackle. Almost had his neck and head ripped off. So play on is the call. Remembering the Giants haven't beaten St Kilda in 3 meetings. They're in a top position to change that today.
Well, they've been creeping up on them. They might just do a little more than creep today.
Devon Smith, high ball, McCarthy, Dempster, out of bounds. As you mentioned, Sandy, with about 7 minutes to go in this second term. 2 goals forward or 1-1 for the quarter. If the Saints can maybe sneak another one or even just keep it as it is, they'll probably be pretty happy, because the Giants really have dominated so much of this term.
Just have to put it on the scoreboard. 13-3 the inside 50s, but as you said, 2 goals for, so they're scoring virtually 50% of the time they go forward. They just haven't put the goals on the board.
Well, their kicking efficiency is only 58% for the quarter. So it's not just been the shots for goal, it's been some of their field kicking. Griffin, this man, I like the look of him. McCarthy takes the grab. Given they've lost Boyd and Patton's out injured, for them to have another big, tall forward who came in, I think he had a broken leg in his draft year, so he's never going to play too much last year, but came in towards the end of the year. He was picked 14, so he was highly touted as a youngster. Terrific shape and size. He should be able to pop this one through for his second, and the Giants lead by 20.
Kicked a goal with his first kick in that game last year, McCarthy. And once again, he's able to stretch the lead.
No, he's a good talent. He's a very high leaper as well. There's the graph of St Kilda v GWS, as you said, a huge win in their first outing.
It might be going the other side of that.
Yeah,
changing fairly rapidly.
Yes.
15 effective scoring shots to 5. Still 6.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Mumford has been a tower of strength. Huge challenge for Longer. Ward is picking up plenty as well. Now he decides to go out wide towards Whitfield. That's going to be okay. Back to Whitfield again. Centering ball, and that's good. Here's Shield. Inside 50. Griffin. He's going to get caught. He's run down.
That's a really good tackle.
Ripping tackle there by Josh Bruce. And he gives it off to Stevens, and away go those little pumping legs. Not before he gets to Shenton. Shenton goes wide to the outer side. Pushed away from Nunes, but Jack goes again. The ball is held to him. He's ripped to the ground. And the umpire's going to come in and take charge.
Great pressure from Josh Kelly. Nunes feeling it. I think all the Saints are. Dangerous period for them here with 5.5 to go. But the talent of the Giants on display now. Treloar into the 50. McCarthy and the experienced Sam Fisher, who goes to ground. Game 199 for Sam. Edging closer to 200. Sometimes when it looked like he might not quite make it with all the injuries he's had over the last couple of years. Good to see him up and running. Throw in. Well up. Dish it off too, so he's kicked to the space. First there, Haynes got the cruel bounce and decided to take it out inside. It took him to ground. Probably should have been a free kick.
Yeah, it had to be a free kick.
Loney can work the angles into Savage, has been good in defence with him. Puts a little move on Griffin and had nowhere to go. Running out of ideas, but suddenly it all opened up for him. Oh, Revolt belting back towards goal. Oh, Patfull did well. Just diligent defence. Loops the handball over the top. Bit uncomfortable, but they'll get out of it. Needs the bounce to sit for him there. And she does. And Whitfield's just slammed it on the boot blindly. Dempster goes short. And they can set it up again through Templeton.
Just need to get a bit of composure going forward, the Saints. That decision there, Jace, was just no composure from Templeton.
Whitfield takes the Templeton kick. So the Saints really struggling to get it inside 50. Dylan Robertson round the body to Rewalt.
Oh, good grab. Yeah, Patfull knew he was in a little bit of trouble there with the ball drop was favoured to the champ. It's going to take his best one there, though. Right foot to the boundary line. Will he try the check side or left foot he adjusts? With a goal kicking guru. So he's going to go to the left. Around the body.
49 goals last year. Plays on, and around he goes, and he makes no mistake. The skipper gets his first, the 6-time club champion, and they come from everywhere.
Well, he's had to work hard for it, Nick Revolt, up to 7 possessions now, taking a contested mark there. He doesn't always get kicks to his advantage, but that one, more by Lugman design, the hashtag Fight Like Matty tribute to his sister, carrying an enormous burden on his shoulders for recent months. Unfortunately, Nick Revolt, which no doubt has received a lot of support from his teammates. And you saw that when they came from everywhere after he kicked the goal.
What they're doing, Nick Rewald as well, Davis and Patfull are taking in turns. We know the work rate of Rewald, so they're sharing the workload.
Timely goal, though, for the Saints. Gets them back to 14 within touch. Shield used Mumford when he had to. On the boot. Grubbing ball inside the 50. Favoured the defence, really. That is an ordinary one. Tough for Dunstan, but he is tough. Came through. Treloar wore one for the team. Kept it alive for the Giants. Back for Bug. They line up out on this pocket. The ball chipped more than anything. It's placed there for Palmer. A little bit frustrated, and it's out of bounds. 6-9-45 to 5-1-31. 7 scoring shots to 3 for the quarter. Cameron hits the phone. Longer, good bodywork, but Mumford just handed it off for Devon Smith. And he's always keen to get himself clear when he's within 30 metres of goal. Shut down there by Geary. 3.5 to go. Can the Saints work their way forward for another scoring opportunity? Robertson, who looks a refreshed man after struggling with injury badly last year, had an excellent debut season with the Saints after being recruited from Fremantle the year before in 2013. He's past all those injury woes. Now Gearing, another one who was cut down by injury last year, just as he was emerging as a fine player. He's one of the young leaders in defence.
Good manning up here from GWS.
Dempster.
Well, the problem was Geary had a couple of bounces and he had a few free options, but by the time he'd had the bounces, they were all manned up.
Davis got in the right position but couldn't take the mark. They sneak it through to Snyder. Now Membry's going to be off balance here, almost holding the ball. Bug was able to get to Whitfield. Lightning call came from Ward. Arches the back and he's away. Uncertainty written over his face though. Didn't know where to kick it.
Tomlinson's on his own.
Oh, that could be 50.
Well, you could see what was going through Newton's mind because Patfield had peeled off on the fat side and was running past. Would have got the ball and streamed inside 50, so he tried to hold him up. But as soon as you do that, the umpires are all over you now. That's going to be 50. So just bottom of the screen, you can't see him in the picture, but Patfield was storming past, ready to receive.
So it's Reece Palmer. The assistance to that 50-metre penalty.
Don't want to moz him, but he's improved his kicking. Reece Palmer, that was a knock on him in early days as well.
23 goals, 12 last year as a defensive forward. And as you said, Jason, it was something that was always questioned. After his dynamic rising star year, he was front onto the goals. You see him there lining it up. It was strange. Now he's ready. Right behind him, and he's kicked truly. And the Giants ebb away again to a 20-point advantage.
Well, that was a really good view of his runner, and he couldn't have run straighter. The way he presented himself towards the target there, and often with left footers, even more so than right footers, they tend to arc out onto their left foot.
A golfer standing behind his ball,
lining it up. Well, look, he obviously has a mental preparation that he puts into each kick, and if he's got that sort of routine, he's going to kick more than he misses.
So the Giants once again out to a 20-point lead. A couple of minutes remaining in this first half. Bruce having a run on the ball for the Saints. Up against Mumford. Mumford wins it. But it's Dunstan who tries to take it out of the middle. Got it across to Weller, who gives it to Dempster. Down he goes towards Rewalt. Tried to flick it on towards Bruce. Bruce traps it nicely now. Goes short. That's a better passage of play to Templeton. Eli's a long way from home. 65. In fact, won't even reach Rewalt. Mumford may go. No, he doesn't. He waits. Scully gives it off towards Haynes. He's had an excellent first half of football. To Ward. To the outer side. Palmer, an effective spoiler, pushes towards the line up against Dempster, and it's taken over.
Gee, that was a good win for the Giants, wasn't it? I mean, Saints have tried to build that wall, but they've forced a stoppage on that half-back flank.
There's Heath Shaw. He's now moved to full forward. And Leon Cameron's been trying to get him into the game. St Kilda had a defensive-type half-forward on him, so he's putting up the other end to see how he can go.
Dunstan starts it off again, but it finishes down towards the 50-metre line and over the line. There's Membry.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Tim.
Having his second game, his first with the Saints. Ball going out of bounds on the full. So back towards centre wing. Shenton was a flyer, couldn't take the mark. There's the handball over the top. An opportunity now for Jack Stephen. He gets another one further afield and takes the old 1-2, running the boundary line. 50 metres out, spears the pass to Rewalt.
Well, that's the sort of service you want as a forward. He doesn't get it often enough, Nick Rewalt. That's a beautiful pass from Jack Stephen.
And Jace, it's the people forward of the centre who get the ball in their hands. As soon as you see Jack Stevens forward of the centre without much pressure.
He opened up the angle, but he just didn't give himself enough room.
Hampton will bring it back into play. The umpire, you could hear, Kirtley, when you're ready. He's ready. And away he goes. Towards Mumford. He's eventually forced to spoil Robertson. And it's taken over the line. So just the last few seconds of this half as Weller saw it over. Bit of a nudge there from Mumford. It goes unnoticed. Flicked out quickly towards Treloar, who's got a bit of time to steady. Look up towards the half-forward line. Cameron a long way from home. Geary, proppy, hand pass towards Fisher is okay. Fisher's got a little bit of time, and he again finds Dylan Robertson. Back to Sam Fisher. Fisher goes in towards the middle. There's only 8 seconds remaining, so there's going to be... one would doubt any addition to the score. Delaney going wide to Stephen.
Very good first half. Luke Delaney's kept Jeremy Cameron to the 1 kick and 1 goal.
Yep. So they're not out of it, but they've got the chase ahead of them, the Saints. They're hanging by a thread. The Giants, if they'd taken advantage of some of the opportunities they had, would have been well clear, but that's not to be. 7-9-51 they lead. St Kilda 5-2-32. The margin here at Etihad, 19 points.
An Easter Monday blockbuster.
I am live in HD.
Hawthorn Geelong.
I am no ad breaks, siren to siren.
Footy's best coverage.
We are Fox Footy.
Easter weekend, everyone's got some time off. They've got some spare time. They can get their DIY projects done and they can come down to Bunnings and get all the products they need to do the job.
Marquee trestle table, only $37.49. Makita angle grinder, $85. 80 litre steel tray wheelbarrow, $99. Outdoor cafe blind, $54. 2 litre sea salt twin pack, just $13.28.
Yeah, the 4-day weekend's a great time to get things done. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
When a pipe bursts and you can't afford a plumber, you could freak out. Or you can just nimble it and move on. Nimble do loans from $100 to $1,600. Apply online, get a decision in minutes, and once approved, have the money within the hour. Go to nimble.com.au.
Goodyear Auto Care is your one-stop automotive shop. Roll in this Easter, buy 4 selected Goodyear tyres and only pay for 3, but only for a limited time. Hurry in so you don't miss out. Call 132343.
We'll keep you running.
With Audi Quattro, all conditions are good conditions. For a limited time, receive complimentary registration, stamp duty and CTP across 51 Quattro models. The Audi Quattro Drive Sales event is now on.
I eat Risk for breakfast. Tastes like bacon.
At Budget Direct, we don't insure Captain Risky to keep prices low. Get 25% off car insurance online. Quote now.
This week at Woolworths, 100-gram Lindt Gold Easter bunnies are just $4 each. Save $1.50. That's cheap. So hop in store and grab some today.
We have a handy tip for keeping your finger on the pulse of airfare deals and viewing the very best offers available at any time, wherever you are. Simply use your big screen computer at home or work and your tablet or mobile when you're out and about. So the moment you see the perfect fare to book, you won't miss a beat. With webjet.com.au.
What's that, boy?
Nice one. Ladbrokes. Bet better.
Melbourne, a city built by pioneers, explorers and creators. Home to the AFL and the MCG. Together, we wrote the rules to the game. Built a code that stood for mateship, courage and leadership. This is our common ground to stomp on. For we, like you, are Melbourne.
Today, live from 5, can Wellington hold their own against finals contenders Melbourne Victory?
Incredible 2-2!
Live in HD on Fox Sports.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium, half-time, and a little bit to think about for the Saints as they trail the Giants by 19 points at the main break, 16 scoring shots to 7. So a few issues there, but Danny Frawley, it's been an interesting contest in the first half. GWS starting to get some ascendancy.
Yeah, the Saints started really well in the first 5 or 6 minutes. I think their forward pressure was great. But as you see, the 16 scoring shots, 12 of those from their midfield.
Yep.
They're getting some really dangerous ball forward to the centre now. And you can just see as the game's unfolding, that extra depth. They've probably got 3 or 4 extra class midfielders than St Kilda. St Kilda have been, you can't be too critical.
Yeah.
I think they've really had a crack. I think their tackling numbers have been great. The disposals for St Kilda, when you look at the disposal winners for St Kilda, Geary, Fisher, Robin and all defenders, that's where the game's been played, basically. Contested ball very even, the uncontested possessions very even, the clearances, just GWS starting to get on top. I think Mumford's been outstanding on longer. And as you see there, the clearances. I think the clean clearances versus the scrubby clearances of St Kilda. St Kilda have to work really hard to clear that sort of area of 8 or 6 players, where GWS are a lot cleaner, of course. They're getting plenty of supply, but it's not the forwards. McCarthy's kicked 2. As you said, Delaney has done a very good job on Cameron. Cameron hasn't had a lot of the ball directed to him, because it's been all the GWS midfield, and probably for St Kilda's sake, that they were lucky that GWS were inaccurate in that half, because the game could have been all over.
Could have been a lot worse. Let's head down to the GWS rooms, and at the beginning of the half-time break, Barry Hall was able to catch up with one of the co-captains, Phil Davis.
Well, Phil, pretty high-pressure game out there. The Saints have really come to tackle, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. The pressure on the ball's been terrific. I think you see us, we just fumble a little bit. We just got to get the ball going forward. The pressure's that good.
And you're dominating the inside 50s. Just a few little stray kicks for goal. But, if you kick those ones, you're a lot further in front.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got to use the ball as well. I think we can get better options. We just bomb in a bit as well. So a bit tidier ball used in front of the forward half. I think we'll be all right.
What about the young fella, Cam McCartney? He looks like a player.
He goes all right, doesn't he? He jumps around a bit. So, no, he's got a lot of talent. So hopefully we can get the ball. He's dangerous at the ball, leading to the ball, so we've got to kick it to him.
Good luck in second half.
Cheers, Baz.
Pretty relaxed down in the Giants' rooms. Phil Davis, with a bit of help from Joel Patfull, doing a pretty good job on Nick Riewoldt. At the moment, it's the NAB Oz kickers out enjoying the expanses of Etihad Stadium. But when we return, it'll be the second half. The Saints trying to claw back a 19-point margin at half-time.
Etihad Stadium, plenty of work going on in the St Kilda rooms. They trail their 5-2-32 to the Giants. 7-9-51. They're in the contest, though, here against the Giants. Well, time now to go behind the scenes with the St Kilda coach, Alan Richardson. He's got 1 year behind him, so let's find out how he's feeling going into a new season.
This pre-season has been somewhat different given the amount of time that I had to plan for it, as opposed to last year. It was a bit of a rush for all the obvious reasons, but no, there's no doubt that the extra time makes me feel a little bit more confident that we've absolutely got the program leading into when we play right. So what would we do if we think the opposition, we haven't been able to slow them up? What are our defensive, what are we thinking? What's our catch cry, Tommy? Find one and then what? Yeah, so find him, stop him, and then what might you do once if you reckon he's irrelevant? What might you be thinking then? You might be looking to help. So you find, you stop, you help. It's fair to say that given where we're at, there's probably a pointier focus on the defensive side of the game at this stage, and that doesn't mean we ignore offence, because a team that can't get out of the back half is going to struggle to be able to defend. The most important part about our defence, irrespective of whether they're slow or fast, is getting in their face and putting pressure on. Certainly, we have numbers that we refer to in terms of putting on pressure to make sure that whenever possible we're getting in the opposition's face.
Come out, let him have it. And close. Yeah, well done. And get him. Do it again. What did we get wrong? So don't roll. I'm not sure who was wider, but given that he took the wider option, who should have come forward? It should have been you, Brucey. We've got to get in their face. We don't want to go sideways. Yep. As we walk, because we're going that, we're going to go that way, boys. Give us a deeper one. As we walk, just listen to this. In you blokes play forward. Tommy Lee's play there is a really significant play by a millimetre. So, hey, well done, Tommy. But if you can't intercept that ball, for Christ's sake, don't overrun the defence, yeah?
We need our Luddies to be really strong, but we'll only grow if those younger blokes are also challenging and demanding and able to help each other with their voice.
I just want to see you guys communicate based on your experience about the shift. So depending on ball position, when do we shift? We don't start to find our man backs until we get to about midpoint. If we punt, then we get to the ball. If we force the coaches to punt, we get to the ball and we make sure we have some cover at the back. I want to hear the voice. I want to hear it loud.
They've done a fair bit of work in that space in terms of what it means to play for St Kilda, what it means to represent the club in the manner in which we think is fitting, and really simply it's that their effort is unquestioned. That's about the pressure really that we are able to apply to the opposition, and when we have the footy that we put pressure on them to defend us strongly.
Good stuff, wasn't it? Inside, behind the scenes at St Kilda, finding out what goes on at training for the Saints. Well, let's see if they can get those fundamentals in action against this team, the Giants, after the break. A trail by 19. It's the Giants in front of many. Saints will have regrouped at half-time. They're under severe pressure in that second term, but they're still right in this contest. At half-time, heading into the third term, it is the Giants 7-9-51 leading St Kilda 5-2-32. One of the stars up forward of a few years ago now. Of course, he went on to be a superstar with the Swans and the Dogs, Barry Hall.
Yeah, thanks, Hutto. Well, it's been a pretty competitive game of football, but the story so far for me has been the Saints and them dodging the ball in the first half. It was 33 inside 50s to 21, 16 scoring shots to 7 in favour of GWS. If that's not dodging a ball, I don't know what it is when you're only 19 points down. So look, if GWS don't cash in their second half and the Saints come out and kick a quick couple of goals in this second half, they could find themselves right in the midst of this game.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment, isn't it? A very fair assessment. And I think St Kilda would have spoken about that. They said, look, we've been let off the hook. But if we can come out with that intensity that we showed in the first 10 minutes of the match, get ourselves back in this contest, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, you're right. And 12 of the 16 scoring shots for the GWS Giants has been through their midfield. So you'd have to say that the St Kilda defence have held up pretty well with those 33 entries. But it's been the midfield, especially late in the quarters, when the extra 2 or 3 midfielders have been able to get on top. Nick Rewald, he's tried hard.
They're just a little short for depth in the midfield.
No, they are.
Aren't they? In particular with Jack Billings being out.
Well, Billings has had a hamstring, had a really good run apparently yesterday in the VFL and had 28 touches. So you would say he'd be a shoo-in for the next game. There's Heath Shaw now. I think St Kilda have been able to contain his run. Looks like he's going down back again. They've been able to stop his run. Heath Shaw's only had the 6 disposals, but I think it's now time for the St Kilda forwards to get dangerous. They've got to make the most of their opportunities and take them when they're there. And I think Mumford versus Longer, he's been outstanding, Mumford. I think Longer needs to really tighten up after the secondary clearance. Mumford's been pushing hard forward. So let's hopefully Bruce and Membry can get on the scoreboard for the Saints, because Nick Rewald, look, he's doing his job. He's been double, triple treamed. He's had Davis on him at times. He's had Padfull. I think Leon Cameron's done a really good job in sharing the workload on the St Kilda champ. Haynes has had snippets on him, so there just needs to be other forwards there to come into the fray.
So just about set to go in the second half. 19 points the margin. Adam Schneider, the only multiple scorer on the ground. He has 2 for the Saints. And McCarthy, a couple also for the Giants. So can the Saints stay with them? Can they do even more than that? Let's find out. Longer and Mumford go at it again. Treloar in the thick of things, but lost it. Armitage, head down, bum up, cop one. Stephen. He's a real little workhorse, is Jack. Here's Eli Templeton. A fumble, perhaps a costly one. He loses the run of the footy. Bruce tries to soccer off the ground. Loney's lurking. Taken towards the boundary by Dunstan and over in the left forward pocket.
Your call was pertinent there, Sandy. Eli Templeton, you just cannot afford to fumble in that area of the ground. You must be clean.
A chance for the Saints for an early score in this second half. Rewalt out of the pack.
Oh, that's a free
Push
kick.
it down in front. It should have been a free kick to Joey Montagna, but not to be.
I reckon he might have tried to milk one there, Joey
Let's have a
Montagna.
look.
Callum Ward, he just knocks the ball away. He knocks the ball away.
Not the first time.
Good call. Well umpired.
Yeah. Here's Armitage, left foot, trying to bend it back. It's coming back. Has he made it? I think he has.
We'll have a review here, I reckon.
Gee, it's going to be a hard one to review.
It's going to be a hard one to review because Shaw has all back the rules that will claim it.
Well, from our angle, it looked home.
I will say this. Umpire's called the mark, so that's needs definitive proof to turn. That's a goal.
Oh, that's a goal.
A clear goal.
That's a clear goal.
And I was going to say, he sure dropped the ball straight away and was starting to walk back, so he wasn't confident that he got there. And that is an incredible goal by David Armitage.
That is an amazing goal and exactly what St Kilda wanted. Have another look at Shaw.
And that's a really good score review, isn't it?
Yep.
Great camera angle.
The score of the goal. The ball is marked across the line.
And it doesn't take 2 minutes to do it.
Well, all the players in the centre square already. They all knew. They looked up on the big screen, and that's where the score review is very, very good there. Works wonders. That's the start that Kilda needed, Jace.
Great goal from David Armitage, that's for sure. So 7-9 to 6-2, and it's exactly as Barry was talking about going into this third quarter. The Saints get an early one. Took just over 2 minutes. Mumford and Longer meet in the middle again. Mumford got the tap down. Weller was there, close by Ryan Griffin. Back to 13 points. Saints fans starting to make some noise. Ward left it behind. Mumford was able to shovel it out. Now it's Smith. Skies it to half forward. Hard one to track back for Fisher, but he did it in fine fashion. So Sam Fisher at half back for St Kilda. Oh, wasn't a good kick out to the wing, and Smith could have probably marked it.
Well, especially at that level, a double fister at that height, you normally mark the ball, but he played the percentages. Wasn't a lot of movement for Fisher on that occasion.
Ward and Stephen at his feet. It goes to Montagna, who's able to slam it on the boot. Rush torpedo.
Well, that kick had to go long and wide, unfortunately.
And again, that was endeavouring to cut off the quick play on from Patfield because Heath Shaw was waiting for the change of direction.
Gee, Jack Nunes is coming off the ground, but not a great time because it means there'll be an extra GWS player on their own here at the minute.
Patfield was going to lay it off. Now he comes in and kicks almost laconically to the square. Searching ball. Cameron!
Oh. It's just his second kick and it's off the ground. He's nearly produced the miracle.
Ball's got to come back.
Yeah, the goal umpire hadn't given the score yet, so Gary tried to do the right thing, get the ball. Let's have a look at the bounce. Ooh.
Savage brings it back into play to Geary. Runs a little like Paul Kelly, the great Sydney Swan man.
That's out the full.
That's a poor effort.
It was great play from Whitfield, though, wasn't it? Corralling the area.
That's not much better.
Ward's kick is equally as poor. Straight onto the chest of Dempster.
So they're on to it
now. Delaney gets the hand pass away. Now they can go Armitage here. They can go further. Phil Deloney.
He's missed him.
He's going to miss it. He has. Disappointment for the Saints there. Core is the one who initiates the tidy up. On the end of it is Treloar. Goes short. McCarthy towards Cameron. Delaney right there with him.
It's a real shame going forward for the Saints. If that ball hits Loney, they kick a goal.
Yeah, Memory's kick. It just had to hit the target. And we've said that a number of times in this game. It's the ball uses forward of the centre of St Kilda. If it's in Stevens' hands, you feel comfortable, but that was an ordinary decision.
Falls for Weller, and now they can move forward again. Now streaming. Angled kick from Fisher is a pretty good one. Bruce gave it off, has to go and retrieve the situation. Rectified with a handball to Geary. He reckons he can get past Smith. He didn't reckon on that effort.
I reckon he got a boot on that.
Yeah, I think he did too.
He got a boot on that, so he's a little unlucky. But at least they're endeavouring to play on. They're endeavouring to move the ball quickly now. They're not executing. Does he get a little boot on it? He does. Yeah. So that should be play on. But you can understand St Kilda's going to make mistakes. They don't have the skill levels of some of the other teams yet, and they're working at it. But they're endeavouring to play quick football. They're endeavouring to move the ball on.
Heath Shaw, as they marshal the forces out of defence.
Clever kick to Patfull.
Yeah, it was good running too from Patfull, and he gets away from Dunstan. He'll look to link up by hand, and now they can go again. Low ball. It's a hard lead from Cameron. Came in from Palmer.
Look, he hasn't had a lot of the ball, Jeremy Cameron, but to be brutally honest, he hasn't been on the lead too often, and none of the kicks have genuinely suited him. That's the first one that's really spotted him up.
They've had a lot of runs inside 50, the midfielders, haven't they?
Yep.
Just jump out 2 metres.
So Jeremy Cameron, this is quite a big kick for the Giants, who lead by 18. It's by 14, I should say. And the number 18 for the Giants. Bagged 5 against the Swans in the last NAB Cup game to serve a warning that he looks in ship-shape condition for this season. Powerful kick for a goal, and it's back to 20 points.
Magnificent kick, shot at goal. But it started with Heath Shaw, and that's why St Kilda tried to put a lot of heat on him too early. When Heath Shaw has the room to run, it was a really good kick for Patfull to Palmer. As we said, Palmer's really improved on his kicking. Great lead from Cameron. What a finish. Off about 3 steps. That's gone about 65 metres. He's quite happy with it too.
Two goals to the boy from Dartmoor, Jeremy Cameron.
And there's nothing better as a forward when you're having a quietish day. You only get a few kicks, you make them all count, you salvage something out of the day.
100% at the moment. 2 kicks, 2 goals. Here's Stephen. Jacks away. It's an underground, ugly-looking kick that wobbles towards Nunes. So he says, give it back to me and I'll make amends. And he kicks up towards the pocket, into the pocket, but it's going to be chopped off by Heath Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw loves those high kicks. Nothing the forwards can do on that occasion.
Thought about Hampton for a moment, then goes longer, and that's going to be okay. Finding Whitfield.
Here's a beautiful kick from Shaw. That's all Nunes could do on that occasion.
Griffin wants it, but he's ignored. He elects Ward. Looking down towards the centre wing area. It's going to be okay. Finds his man there in Kelly, who's a left-footer, but he gives it back to Ward. Ward towards Smith. Devon Smith's kick, a high ball up towards the 50 now. There's been a whistle. And it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Cameron, I think.
Yeah, I think holding. I didn't see it. Must have been off the ball, obviously.
Yeah, he said holding, and if it didn't go to him, there might have been a shepherding one to Mumford anyway, because he was trying to come in. So Mumford comes in, and you can just see Shenton takes him out. That's a free kick there, but there was holding on Cameron prior to that. Now, the way he kicked the last goal, there's no problems with the range. He has kicked beautifully. Said the 3 kicks, one was off the ground that hit the post, but the other 2 kicks have been beautiful, straight, long kicks.
This for number 3 for the spearhead. It starts right and it stays right. He adds a behind. So the margin out to 21 points.
We're going to look down the ground for Savage. Playing a full-on zone now, GWS.
Yeah, so look at that view. Pick something out. It's not as easy as it looks kicking out. That's why often the bailout kick is into the pocket, because nothing presents itself.
Mike Schneider into that back pocket, and he has to keep going down this line.
It's got to go to longer.
Got Tomlinson to contend with. Nice little nudge from Adam Tomlinson. And a dirty look coming from Billy Longer back to the umpire. High ball. Now, Cameron was out of position that time. He was looking for body just to help him get his bearings.
It's strange, he's holding his back as well. Maybe he's copped one in the back, but he actually took his eye off the footy, Hutto, to run back and find his opponent rather than setting himself to jump and fly at the ball.
Mumford up against Bruce this time. Daniel Law was desperate to give it off. It ends with Smith. He just couldn't get past cleanly. And the Saints try and hack it out of there, but
he's got numbers in the midfield there.
Snyder's burned it, and this is Whitfield. Gee, Needle in a haystack there.
Yeah, that's not where. That's such low percentage. Even if you find the man there, it's nearly an impossible
We've
kick.
had Cameron and McCarthy in the goal square.
You kick into a small,
and you go to a small
position.
That's just a bad decision to go there.
So what can Fisher do? Bringing this ball back into play. Comes down the line. Memory was at the back, who was forced to spoil, just thumped it down in front. Well done by the Giants. It started with Shield, finished with Treloar. Shield's in the thick of things once again. Out the back towards Armitage. Lightning hand pass to Weller. Now they're away. Down the line towards Ahmed Saad. Saad's got to recover. Hampton's got pace. Hampton is first to it, but it's an errant hand pass. The door may open here for St Kilda. No, it won't. It's going to open for Hampton. He can make amends. He gives it to Shaw. Shepherding sees him clear, but he wobbles it down only as far as Montagna. Gives it back to Stephen. Here's an opportunity now. That's better. So the Saints once again can cut this margin. Courtesy of Stephen, Montagna and Armitage.
That last play with Membry, the two St Kilda forwards took off. OK, one running forward, but one had to stay for the drop of the ball when Membry got tackled. They both ran forward.
Costly fumble though. If he picks it up cleanly, he gives the hand pass.
Correct, but you just needed one to hang around.
Can Nunes convert? Almost shaves the post, but it's on the wrong side. One behind.
They're just hanging around the Saints. Need to get a couple in a row.
But that's the learning curve, St Kilda. They've got to hang in games longer. The longer you hang in games, all of a sudden you get a sniff of an upset.
Big Mummy got squashed on the other side, and that's no easy task.
See if you can get the ball moving. They're on here, GWS. They're queuing up forward.
Shield was dynamic early, been a bit quiet for a while. Just delicate little operation over the top. Field waits. And he too goes short. Treloar wanted to move it quickly. Longer working the mark, so back to Whitfield again. No ground really gained. The Saints have flooded the defensive 50. Scully makes a move and was very nearly hit on the full. He gets another crack at it to the square. Ward, Cameron. Montagna know where he's going.
Yeah, in the end, it was a good option for the GWS. He probably should have marked the ball, Tom Scully. They didn't bomb away. They didn't go to where St Kilda had the numbers. They went around the arc and then punched a low ball into about 40 metres out where there was a good lead.
Montagna to himself.
Good shepherd off the ball there.
Sees him clear. Rewald.
He's got Bruce Long down the line if he wants him.
He's going to go short initially, but you've got players surging down the ground now. Goes wide towards Ahmed Saad. And the young man can't keep it in play. Couldn't quite trap it.
Tough afternoon for him, Sandy. Just the two possessions. No score at this stage.
Both of those handballs.
Good to see him back. Mummy has a spell.
Looks like he wouldn't blow out a candle, Mummy.
Here's Dylan Roberton.
They've gone back.
And they've gone a long way back to Savage, who goes high and long towards Rewald.
Beautiful.
It's a great grab.
So I reckon they'd be disappointed, GWS, because the only person flying against Rewald on a long bomb is Thomas Budd.
You've got to ask where Patfull was on that occasion. Patfull's walking back.
Rewald within scoring distance.
There's Patfull in front. Patfull's more worried about
Jack Loney.
Patfull had to go for the ball there.
Yeah,
he just cannot afford to spectate. That's good footage there.
A bit sloppy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll come up in Leon Cameron's review during the week.
Rewald for his second. And defended over the line, conceding one behind. 10.5 remaining in this third quarter. The Giants continue to lead, but they can't shake the Saints.
Bit of a standoff at the moment. Davis. Oh, he got himself into all sorts of chaos there. His kick was very good in the end.
Well, he got lucky, but I'll tell you what, he's chopped the ball a couple of times. Still Davis coming out of the defensive 50.
Midfield mark.
Yeah, well, he's had 21 disposals now. Scully again has to fly against three Saints. If they can get it, they're away, the Giants. McCarthy, to Smith. Oh, he caught one high. It's Tomlinson, in fact. Had a couple of options inboard. Toby Green. They're lining up on the other side. Under pressure, though. Shield knew he was held without it. And even though he was looking for the free, he was probably a bit stiff, but they still go on with Hampton. They're outnumbered here. And the Saints Savage eventually takes the mark. And so they've just broken down at the important stage in this quarter, the Giants, when they've been moving forward.
Armitage to the outer side and Rewald again. And didn't like the treatment given by Toby Green.
This is the issue for the Saints. So Rewald's getting a number of the ball in the half-back line. He looks up, and you'd love another Rewald to be kicking to, but he's doing his job, Nick Rewald. The Saints need Bruce and Memory to get into the game.
Armitage. Slip a little wee in there, Danny.
They did, Sandy.
Fisher. I think we'll allow you that. Service is given to the club. Armitage. That's a poor kick. It's a very disappointing kick. And
great.
Joey will do his best to get clear, but that's a ripping tackle. Did all but remove his jumper. So the Giants threatening, and they're oh so close. Treloar gives it off to Hampton. Little 9-iron chip is going to be okay, and McCarthy takes the mark.
Well, the Saints fans don't like it. I'm not sure what they're doing about it.
I think they're going for too high on the tackle on Montagny.
And boys, just now, there's a bit of movement in terms of the sub for the Saints. Jack Sinclair is coming into the game for his first game of league football. He's taking the vest off. I'll keep you updated with who's going to put the red vest on.
Thank you, Baz.
So there's the tackle. The left hand maybe over the shoulder, but it really didn't have much presence, did it?
McCarthy for his third, kicking from 52. It's wide, it's very wide, and will not trouble the scorer.
Not his best kick, and Shane Savage tells him all about it. But I like the way he attacks the footy, McCarthy. He's an exciting young player.
Thank you.
So Longer brings it back into play, and they're away once again. To the outer side goes Delaney towards Rewalt. There could be a collision here. No, it's not, because the Giants are going to storm straight back into the forward line, Cameron territory. He was there, couldn't take the mark.
Paid a shepherd.
Was it tunnelling?
He paid blocking, shepherding, but
took the wind out of him.
Look, he did get swept under the ball, but I thought Cameron was trying to mark the ball. I'm not sure that's a free kick.
It was good courage, that's about it.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate for Dempster.
I don't think there was a free kick in it at all.
I didn't see the infringement.
However, he takes it and he finds Rewald.
Who's once again being forced right up the ground for the Saints. And it gets them thin down the line.
That's an ordinary kick, even from Nick Rewald. He's kicked it off one step to a 2-on-1.
Nick Haynes takes the mark. He was in all the action in the first quarter, but just his 9th disposal for the day. It's kicked to the outnumber horribly, which means there's got to be Giants everywhere once it hits the ground. Smith's handball gets through to Mumford, and now Treloar from the 50 got crunched as he kicked it. There's Giants everywhere up forward, and who better than Jeremy Cameron?
Well, it was McCarthy and Cameron on Delaney.
Heath Shaw looks a little bit proppy as he comes from the ground, but I think he's okay.
And Hutto, just quickly, Dylan Robertson's the one to be subbed out of the game.
Okay, so Dylan Robertson, who's had 13 disposals. Don't think he'd been their worst player, so an interesting move. Cameron to pop through his 3rd goal and stretch the Giants' lead to a game-high 26 points.
Well, we saw in that whole passage a couple of ordinary kicks. We were just talking about the one from Rewald. The Giants kicked it back forward to a 1-on-4. All 4 Saints flew. And it was just Mumford that created the contest, and then the ball comes loose. Mumford gets involved again, and then Cameron running back with the ball. As you say, Delaney was on McCarthy at that particular point in time, but Cameron had lost his opponent, got back and took the easy mark.
Well, it's one of the 4 that went up. I think there was Fisher and Dempster involved in that marking situation.
So Cameron for a spell with 3 goals to his name from just 5 disposals. And the Giants, as Hutto said, enjoying their biggest lead in the game so far, out to 26 points. Treloar almost threw it out to Ward, who gives it to Scully. Now they're away once again. Hurried kickers by the left footer, Kelly. Wide out towards Green. Back to Scully once more. Shows a lot of the footy, then gets the hand pass away to Mumford. Partly blocked. There's a high tackle. And Schneider, the recipient of the free kick. Ironical cheers coming up from the Saints fans as Geary goes high and long up towards the half-forward line. Player loose there. On that occasion, it was Bruce, and he takes the mark.
He needs to go back and have a shot here.
Yeah, They're within scoring distance.
Well, it keeps him within 20 points if he kicks it. Now, that was good. A good rebound from the Saints there. Geary playing on quickly, kicking it long forward. To create opportunities for your forwards one-on-one. Bruce lost his man, and in the end, it's almost an uncontested mark.
Just the 4 goals to his name last year.
Don't jump over there.
Nick Haynes told not to jump over the line. That looks good. That looks very good. Well, they will not go away. Josh Bruce gets his first, and it's back to 20 points.
Correct way there, Jace. I think the fact that they played on instantly meant that when they got the ball forward through the middle of the ground, as you said, Geary just played on, kept running, and kicked the ball to space. Curly Hampton probably could have went at the ball. He was too player conscious on Sard on that occasion. But Bruce just needs to get where the ball is. His work rate's been fairly good. He's had the 10 disposals. He's taken 3 marks. He just needs to get busy and read the play a little bit better. Of course, he's an ex-Giants player. He's on the rookie list at St Kilda and was recruited as a defender. And now finds himself forward. So it's a much-needed goal for the Saints.
Well, that'd be the tonic for them. Out of the middle, Griffin's been well quelled for much of the day. He has fought on. He's had 12 disposals. But certainly not the impact that he would have liked. Struggled last year, we know, with injury, and then just lost his love for the game a little bit and changed clubs controversially at the end of the year.
No, he pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, he pointed the wrong way.
Caught the other.
I thought it was a free.
Mumford lays it off to Shaw, who wants to give. And in the end, the ripple effect was good. Created the loose man in green, and he misses the target, but it sits up nicely for Whitfield. So they've pierced through with handballs. Smith waves all the way out, and then chips it up to full forward. McCarthy in a bit of a standoff. Scully's going to be his wrong side, so handballs blindly and hope for the best. Didn't turn out as he might have wished. And the Saints, good steadiness in defence. Stephen marks the Dempster kick.
Possession number 22 coming up. Only Adam Treloar's had more with 23.
Yeah, it's about Jack's average.
He's worked hard.
So throw in. Two of the young coaches in the competition, young in coaching senior experience, I should add.
They've been at each other all day long and Mumford, haven't they?
This time it's Billy who comes out on top. Long ashore. Just 4.5 minutes remaining in this term. If St Kilda can perhaps be a couple of kicks away from the lead going into the final term now. Here's the boy who's come on the sub, Sinclair.
Kick it, he's free.
He does.
He was free for an eternity forward. I just had this sinking feeling in my stomach they're going to handball and muck around and not get the ball forward to the loose player.
Now this is a big kick with a few minutes remaining in the term. If Geary can get this, bring it back to 52, make the margin 14 points. They'd be thinking to themselves, we're not without a sniff. First things first. He's got to kick it from 45. And he doesn't. In fact, it just drifts away.
Not a lot of commitment to the kick. It was a bit stabby, wasn't it?
Patfield to Haynes. And that is taken over. Pressure from Savage on Scully. We've got another throw in.
It's been a bit loose here, the Giants, haven't they? I know players push forward to the ball now, but Geary was on his own from a stoppage for a long time, and just around the edges. We want to be a bit tighter as Ward goes to ground. He's under severe duress. Got it out of there. Good tackling pressure, relentless from the Saints. And again, the umpire deciding not to pay a free either way.
Well, and Griffin at each other, and Ward trying to help him out. Did a pretty good job, Mavuela, as you said on Griffin, only the 12 disposals for the day.
Touch was the call.
There's very little in all the stats, basically across the board, except for inside 50s. Yeah. That's the only one that has a marked difference, which is 45 to 29 in favour of the Giants. All the other numbers, contested possessions, clearances, total disposals, uncontested possessions, all very similar.
Interesting, Buck got the free for that. Armitage thought it was his. So Bud goes short. Kelly, inch by inch along the line. Ward. Since early in the second, the game's been around about 20 points.
This is where the Saints just need to play in front of their direct opponent because they're trying to hit up any uncontested player at the moment, GWS.
Kelly goes down the line. Mumford, but all the Saints working out the back nicely. And again, Sinclair just can pop it over the top. Now they can move again through Armitage, and they're buzzing the Saints along the outer end. Tanya directed it well. Schneider, one step ahead. Bruce got to come from behind here, and Haynes. No, it is a free.
Gee, that looked a good spoil.
I thought it was a good spoil.
That looked like he got the ball with the fist. Josh Bruce. No one's heard the whistle. He's blown up 37 times. I'm keen to see that again because it looked like
it was the arms. A free kick was definitely there.
It wasn't a kick to advantage, but does he hit the ball? No. Good decision.
Good decision in the end.
It was a really ordinary kick from Schneider. He tried to get in quickly. Unfortunately, he kicked it straight to Nick Haynes.
He's doing good today, Haynes.
That kick's going to tail off though. Drops short, and Weller takes the mark. And there's no one coming over with the spoil. Weller gives it quickly. Templeton, heavily populated forward 50. So chance the arm. Membry sets it up. They can all run it. They call him Bruce. What a mark!
He got up there and just sat there on top of the pack.
You're right. When he got up, he just was there and thought, come on, ball, where are you?
He said, I may as well make myself comfortable while I'm up here.
Early contender for Mark of the Year.
Oh, that was magnificent, Graham. Off one step, too.
And he's taken it over the top of 3 Giants defenders. I doubt you'll see a better one for the season.
Yeah, that is a magnificent mark. Now he just needs to let the adrenaline run out a little bit and seal the deal here.
Amazing what you can do with your eyes shut.
How disappointing.
How often does that happen too?
So, if Geary kicks his and Bruce kicks that, they're within 2 kicks and we've got game on. That's a superb mark.
That's a beautiful mark.
With only 50 seconds remaining, that's the time the Saints have to try and get another one before three-quarter time. Shaw brings it back into play. Going long. Nunes waits at the back, but Billy Long is in front, and he just thunks it away from Mumford over the boundary line.
Are the Giants tiring a bit here?
I think they've just been a little bit loose. Look, Kilda have upped the ante a little bit the last 5 minutes, so...
Mumford wins it. Straight down towards Shield. Smith.
That's a
Scully.
Good vision.
And Scully can go.
Tomlinson.
He does. He brings it back. Oh, almost the mark taken there by Palmer. Clock could well be the enemy of St Kilda now.
He's only a small Palmer, but gee, that was a good kick from Scully. He brought it back into the corridor to his advantage.
Fisher trying to go out the back door to Montagna. Short towards Sinclair, who came on as the sub in this term. Stephen now up towards centre wing. Haynes from the back was the flyer. Couldn't complete the mark. An opportunity for Tomlinson. Back to Haynes. That'll be all, boys. Three-quarter time here at Etihad. And some costly chances going begging for St Kilda late in that third quarter. Sees them continue to trail by some 19 points. The Giants are 9-12-66. St Kilda are 7-5-47. The Giants by 19.
So, chance the arm. Membry sets it up. They can all run it. They call him Bruce. What a mark.
He got up there and just sat there on top of the pack.
You're right. When he got up, he just was there and thought, come on, ball, where are you?
He said,
well, that's one of the highlights for St Kilda. Certainly a highlight for the man they call Bruce. Today, an outstanding ride, and he just seemed to sit there, Jason, didn't he?
Oh, it's a superb mark. Absolutely brilliant. The only problem was he didn't reward himself by kicking the goal, and they desperately needed it, the Saints.
Indeed. If you look at that scoreline, a couple of missed opportunities. If they'd created those, but they haven't. So we're left with 9-12 to 7-5, and still a chance for a big finish for the Saints. There was a suggestion, was it by Hutto, I think, perhaps asked the question, were the Giants getting a little tired late in that term? Your thoughts, Spud?
I think St Kilda up the ante, Sandy, in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And I think Leon Cameron would have said to the boys, I think they're a little bit unaccountable. I think Hutto hit the nail on the head when Geary found so much space as a halfback flanker. I think they went ball watching a little bit GWS. I think it was just going to happen too easily for them. And why they've got this lead, they've played two-way football. So I think he would have been a little bit disappointed with about 10 minutes into that third quarter, GWS. But take nothing away from them at the moment. It's just their extra midfielders.
Leon Cameron having plenty to say at three-quarter time to his Chargers. Let's see what he has to say to Baz.
Well, Leon, you're doing a hell of a lot right. All the key indicators that quarter you won again, but the Saints just keep hanging in there.
Yeah, disappointing that we're not probably capitalising on the scoreboard. Our, kicking for goals been disappointing, but we knew they'd be hanging in there. Round one games are really hard to win.
Jack Stevens looked to be the most dangerous Saints player at that stage. Another 9 disposals in that third quarter. You look a bit more attention to him.
Yeah, we're going to body him up at stoppages. He's obviously breaking away far too easy. Toby, Green and Armitage having a great battle. I think our other mids need to take some accountability on Stevens.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, Jack Stevens, 23 disposals for the game so far, and you can understand quite clearly why the club was very keen to sign him to a long-term contract, which they did. So, what can the Saints produce in this final quarter? Can they close the gap? Can they hang on? Can they even get over the line? Or will the Giants, with the class they have in this combination, draw away? We're about to find out. I think the pertinent line from Leon was round one matches are bloody hard to win.
Well, everyone starts with fresh hopes, Andy.
Correct.
You don't know if you're a good or poor team until you're up and running against the opposition.
So 19 points is the deficit for St Kilda. And the challenge to try and build on for the Giants. But it's going to go St Kilda's way first, or is it? Tanya's kick, hunted down. Kelly's got better and better as the game's gone on. Treloar involved again. Bugs searching around looking for mates. So too Treloar back to Ward. They shuffle it around the Giants. Unconvincing. There's a bit of a fight going on behind play. Yes, he's turned it over here.
He's turned it over. It'll have to go back to the half-forward flank.
Everyone's gone the wrong way here. The entire field's going to turn around and run the other direction.
It's got to go down to the half-forward flank for St Kilda.
Everyone's gone to the other end of the ground thinking it's a GWS ball. There's nobody at all in St Kilda's forward line.
Yeah, it's Armitage's free kick. That's exactly where the ball should have went. Well, Nunes is on here.
Now they're all running the other way.
Well,
Revolt.
Kick goes to Revolt. I think in that situation, the umpire should call time off and give them time to get back. Revolt chips it up towards full forward. Oh, Bruce again! Green hammers it out to the wing. And Revolt can round it up again. He's got numbers inside. Works it back with Savage. He has to get back to Revolt. He had no one to give to. Bereft of options, has to work the left boot. There's some danger, but he's controlled it well enough. Shenton takes the mark. Off half back. High energy early in this last quarter. Pressure on, crowd can sense it.
Well, it was on in the midfield, but he missed the opportunity there, Shenton.
Still 19 points. Shenton just chips it up as a strange old kick.
Ordinary kick.
And Kelly,
whichever way you look at it, to take that long to do that is not good enough.
Back through the middle with Treloar, dabs it for Shield. Oh, meticulous kick was needed, and he turns onto the left. Rocks and kicks into the pocket. Cameron will mark it.
Well, you can blame Shenton for that. It's as simple as that. He had opportunities to switch the ball, go through the middle of the ground, and then to sky one to an outnumbered situation. Let's just come back with interest.
Well, it was like the occasion got the better of him. So there
was a free kick to Callum Moore, but then he retaliated with a little drive the head into the turf. A couple of hard nuts, Ward and Armitage.
So the Saints missed a few in that third that were crucial. Jeremy Cameron, though, has gone back and shown them how to kick goals. Slots through his fourth. And again, the margin extended to 25.
Yeah, well, he's looked better as the game gone on, Jeremy Cameron, but you can't blame him for Delaney for that. The ball just come back with interest.
Love the kick from Shield here. He just looks quickly and says, where's the space that he's leading into?
Yeah, beautiful kick.
It's a really well-weighted kick.
Right, the kick went to grass, didn't it, and just allowed Cameron to go flat out. Didn't have to break stride whatsoever, and that's what forwards want, out in front.
25 points the margin. Jeremy Cameron now with 4 goals after a very quiet start to the game.
He's turning it into a decent afternoon, isn't
it? He is. As we go back into the middle, Mumford wins it to Scully. Tries to just flick it towards Devon Smith. Almost legged. The tackle fell down towards the knees. Savage bounces it down towards the half-forward lines. Cruel bounce for a lot of them. Not for Membry. Membry steadies, shoots and answers with a behind. Well, let's make it a goal.
Yeah,
that's what they needed.
No, they needed it, Sandy. There's no doubting that straight away, because you could just see the body language a little bit lifting for GWS, and St Kilda just, their shoulders just sagging a little bit. It was a really good kick. Well, it wasn't a great kick forward from Savage, but what it did, it was a chaos ball. So it's very hard to read, and Membry got the lucky bounce in the end and kicked truly for his second goal.
He turned his opponent, I think it was core inside out.
What the Saints need now is back-to-back goals. I know that's an understatement, but they just need to get the ball and maintain some ball inside their forward 50.
That's what both sides have been unable to do, really, in this second half. Since early in the second term, they've been basically unable to kick repeat goals. Montagna will give them a chance. Get it into the 50. Away from Pat for Core. There's caught.
Yeah, great tackle, Bruce. He's had some good tackles today.
Yep.
And down the other end as well. What he needs to now is to soak it up and kick the goal. Just take your time. Perfect tackle there. See him pin the arm? That's a terrific tackle.
Yeah, I was critical on Aiden Core before because he got turned inside out by Membry, but there's not a lot he can do there.
No.
He's waiting, he takes the ball up high, and as soon as he brings his arms down, he's tackled.
Well, the tackle was perfect.
Just a good tackle, needs a good kick now, Bruce.
Owes them a goal after missing that one earlier, Josh Bruce. That's a much more secure kick. It's right through the middle for his second, and here they come.
Well, that's what they needed, just to get the Saint supporters into play. He had a very good game now. Bruce, I loved his tackling work. 3 tackles resulted in 3 kicks. He's kicked 2-2. Membry's kicked a couple. It is a new look St Kilda forward line. We know we've got the champ there, Nick Riewoldt. Really good finish there from Bruce. Atoned for that miss just at the end of the third quarter.
Well, all of a sudden, we're back to a 13-point ball game. Josh Bruce. Can he become the hero for the Saints? He's done some good work. Mumford now. Shields couldn't take it out of the middle. He gets another crack at it, and this time he does. Treloar steadies towards Kelly. Now they're away. Wide towards Scully.
Clever kick.
Scully's on the wing.
Mumford pushing forward.
And that's where he heads. Mumford just drifting inside the 50, takes the mark.
He's been doing that most of the day. Longer was trying to get there. Savage was trying to create the sprawl. But he's just too quick out of those clearances. Gee, that's hard running from Mumford.
Surprised to see Devon Smith just sneak past there.
Like any good goal sneak, he thought, well, I've got a ruckman having a sense shot. He might just give it to me if I drift past.
Well, let's see what he can do. Kicked just 4 goals last year. Mumford, 45-degree angle. 46 metres out. Pretty good off the boot. Just drifting away to the left at the last moment. And behind.
And Sandy, Caniglio's been subbed into the game, and off comes Scully to put on the red vest.
Not a bad exchange, is it? Thanks, Baz. And Caniglio, who's a class act, shows the depth of the midfield of the Giants. 16 possessions for Tom Scully. Loney goes short. It's going to be okay.
One thing Sinclair can do, Jace, he makes good decisions, and he's a really good kick.
Here is Jack. Interesting to keep an eye on him as his career unfolds. Montagna takes it away from Dunstan. Goes inside 50. Belted away by Davis. Good defence over the boundary line. We've got another throw in.
That was terrific defence there. Remember, he was going to body him up. He's looking for a high one over the top. Just have a look at Davis keep his eye on the ball without giving a free kick away. That's playing the angles perfectly.
can sense the urgency, though, out there. St Kilda with a couple of goals in a row. Got their opportunity. McCarthy turned well. His handball, though, ill-directed, straight to Shint, and they line up. Tanya deals it over. Savage is a big, long kick. So is Snyder. Thinks about it. Still thinking. Had the handball in the end. Savage, does he get enough momentum? He has. It's going, and it is through.
Wow, what a goal.
First goal for Savage, a timely one. The Saints back within 8. They've kicked 3 in a row.
Well, we know
they're on the march, Spud.
Well, they are, Hutto. And it's been a brave effort. There's Savage there having a breather. If you're looking to come up, you keep him on after kicking that magnificent goal. It took most of the juice out of his legs, but what a finish. I thought Snyder might have handballed the ball. Here we see Snyder here having a look to get around, gets tackled. Just had the awareness to get to Savage and kick off one step. What a finish.
8 points is now the margin. And the Saints with a real sniff.
Well, we might learn a little bit about GWS now.
Yeah.
Just how much have they matured? We've got an interesting little scenario in front of us.
Time not a factor. Mumford wins it. Dunstan rips it out of the middle for the Saints, and he goes high and long. Inside 50, Patfull's the spoiler, poking towards the boundary line. Going to be kept in play by Whitfield. Loses it, however. He does have support. That was in the form of Core. Haynes had such a wonderful first quarter, been a little quiet since then. He's on the bottom of the pack. Saints fans want a free kick. They're not going to get it.
Well, it's half a win there for St Kilda. Keeping the ball in their forward half.
Mumford again with the right hand. Caniglio, fresh legs. First one way, now he turns back. Goes down the line. Once again, a big pack of players fly. Devon Smith waits down but runs out of room. Throw in, still on the wing.
Adam Tomlinson's just gone and positioned himself as the loose in defence. So they've got a big, tall spare behind the footy, the Giants.
That'll mean Fisher.
Oh, there's a high tackle. It's going to be a St Kilda free
Fisher will
kick.
be free, Jason. He's in the middle of the ground, Sam Fisher, if they can look inboard.
So an opportunity now for Jack Loney.
If they switch it.
Loney, down the line he goes. And defensively thumped away from memory over the boundary line by Aidan Core for throw-in.
It's easy seeing here, Jace, but if Jack Loney had to switch the ball, St Kilda's extra was Sam Fisher in the middle of the ground, so he was deceived.
Dunstan again, looking threatening for the Saints. Giants close him out this time. It's going to be a ball up. Treloar with 27 disposals. Whitfield 26 for the Giants. Stephen with 25 and Geary 22 for the Saints. Sard straight back into the thick of it, but can't escape.
It hasn't been a good afternoon. It's just the 2 possessions, no score.
Again, the hustle and bustle. Mumford poked it out. Green. So often looked to just go by hand from the clearance, and now the clearing kick is a good one from Whitfield to Mumford. Again, they work the handball. Here in straight into the teeth of trouble, and gone.
That's the perfect tackle there, because he thought he'd get through longer, and then all of a sudden Montagna just needs some composure here.
He kicks with haste into the pocket. Hampton had it covered, but Dunstan stayed true, stayed on his feet, screwed it back. Oh, Sard might get his moment. Still might Ahmed Sard. Had to dish it off eventually. Bruce or Revo went throwing across the front of the pack.
He's hurt too, Revo.
He is. He's hurt himself here. Winning himself, I think.
Is it his back?
Yeah, he's
talking about?
Yeah, I think he did say back.
Yeah.
They don't want to lift him up. Wait for the doctors. No, wait for the doctors and physios. Well, they've got it. The umpires have to stop the play,
for heaven's sake.
Free kick to GWS.
Well, that's a silly move from St Kilda, whoever that was.
So it was Bug bumping him, but maybe he's just landed awkwardly.
You can see Bruce sort of...
Bug's run straight into his back. I'm assuming Bug was running at the footy. Maybe just ran into him.
Yeah, Rewald's running backwards.
Yeah, Nick's going backwards.
Looks different from the different angles, doesn't it? It's amazing how deceptive it can be. And so it's a Giants free. All the attention on Nick Rewald.
It's as though they're placing a brace on his neck initially. Just the doctor having a close look at the neck. There you can see no brace yet, but he's there's a real look of concern though on Nick's face.
Yeah, there is. You could see as soon as he went down, he said, "Me back."
So there could be a considerable hold up here.
No, he's up.
Well, that's good.
It's one of those where you're not braced for contact, you're not expecting it, you're focusing on something in front of you and you're cleaned up from behind.
Great to see him on his feet. You do hold your breath when those circumstances occur, don't you?
He's going to be assisted from the ground.
Because he's not on a stretcher, the play restarts. Which,
well, it's crazy because it restricts to where they can kick the ball.
Oh, that was silly from Bruce. Now there's been 2 free kicks now. St Kilda have dominated the start of this last quarter. Now they give 2 silly free kicks away. The first one when there was a stoppage, and then Bruce late after he kicked the ball. So
now the Giants can take this limited numbers, although most of their players are in the fight. So
and the last thing the Giants want to do is get involved in that.
Well, that's right.
They want to get up and get involved in the play, but now it looks like maybe Thomas Bugsby. Well, he's the one.
Yeah, that was just too late for him.
He's the one that bugged Revolt. Maybe there's a bit of payback from Josh Bruce.
Back to live play. Hampton, misses everything. Swept through the cracks. Geary, flat-footed, but he was able to get the handball away. Fisher to Shenton. An uncomfortable moment, waiting, floating ball. Jack Stephen, suddenly they're on the attack again. Stephen leading the way magnificently. Membry, they're coming at him from every angle. Jumped hard for the ball. Bug, swamped, little
Didn't have it,
Did he get it free? No, he doesn't. Bug wasn't caught. Taken away by Ward. Skies it to half-back. Smith comes and thumped over the line and out of bounds.
It's game on. It's game on now.
Under 12.
Every contest now has got something on the end of it.
Yeah, under 12 minutes remaining. Time not a factor. It's an 8-point ball game. Longer couldn't take it cleanly. Griffin has been very well held today. Smith gets claimed and he's been pinged.
That was harsh.
That was
he had
harsh.
no prior opportunity, surely. Is the Loney? Did he have the ball, Loney? Line ball, that one, Hutto.
Here's Fisher. That's a long bomb deep in towards full forward. Davis again with that big fist. Frawley-esque. If we turn back the clock.
It's a good percentage defensive score, isn't it? No chances, didn't fly for the mark. So you just said put it through and we'll start again.
Whitfield, dangerous. Treloar was the target. Treloar gets it at the second attempt. He spins out of trouble. He does well. Gives it across to a teammate there in Kelly.
Good kick.
They're out of trouble.
He's away.
Up towards centre wing. This is Griffin. One bounce. Ryan Griffin's away. Trying to get clear of Nunes. He eventually goes inside 50. They need a mark at the back. There's interference, and it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Giants.
Yeah, I think Dempster, unfortunately, took his eyes off the ball. I'd like to have another look at it. I didn't think he did too much, but I think the umpires were looking for the eyes of Dempster. It was a really powerful kick from Griffin under heat.
McCarthy now for 3, and this to just subdue the St Kilda fans momentarily.
Let's have a look at Dempster down the bottom of the screen. Oh no, there's nothing in that.
Not a lot in it.
There's nothing in that.
7 points was the margin. It's now 13 in favour of the Giants. McCarthy has his 3rd.
Now looking at that here now, Dempster turns his body beautifully. I know he's stumbling.
And what we've got to remember is, look, I know the umpires have triggers. Just because you're looking at your man is not in itself a free kick. He looked to see where his man was.
And then he turns.
And then he turns. He's not positioning himself to take his player out. He's trying to get back in a position to contest the footy. So I reckon, I just don't know what more they expected Dempster to do.
That's play on. It's as simple as that.
Perplexing and pivotal, that decision from the umpire. The margin back to 13. 79 plays, 66 at Etihad Stadium. Bruce having his run on the ruck, but Mumford over the top with the first and the second effort. He charges through, but Armitage comes hard the other way. Runs into Ward. He's a tough man and stops him in his tracks. Adam Treloar up to 29 disposals now. Mumford tapped it down. Green charging hard the other way. Snyder avoids Montagna. Armitage, and they're on the run again. Beautifully directed on memory. Critical miss. Thrown out by Paffel, who's still got numbers. Sard straight into trouble, locked up.
Tell you what, a lot of the GWS midfield very slow to get back into the defensive 50.
Yes, it's been open, hasn't it, for the Saints several times. Longer, you can see what he had in mind, but there's Treloar, been a real stumbling block for them. Kicked it out the half-back and gets it over the line safely and out of bounds.
18,794 in attendance here today.
There's Tomlinson. He's the free player for GWS. That's why that drop mark from memory was crucial. But they've just got to be careful bombing the ball here, the Saints, because Tomlinson's the extra.
Bruce, an interesting hand pass. Devon Smith's got to do it all on his own. He's got Templeton locked up with the footy. So ball up on the outer wing. Mumford again wins it. Haynes had such a dashing first quarter in defence. Montagna, a hurried kick, not a lot of distance, but it's okay. Finishes with Armitage. Spears a pass in towards Sard. He was the target.
Had to take it in his hands.
Yeah, he tried to take it on the chest. Yeah. If you're going to make a mistake, make it a good one by outstretching your arms there. You're just giving defenders too easy a punch.
Very quiet day for Sard, just the 3 disposals. Mumford wins it down, but it was Weller who got a hand to it initially. Stephen was at the bottom of the pack and he had assistance. Now a chance for Loney. Shaw couldn't take it. Montagna lurking. What can Joey do? It's straight up and down. Play on. You can hear the call from the umpire and it's going to be taken over. It is for one behind.
Treloar kept it in there, which was an interesting decision.
He's cool in a crisis, isn't he?
Not 15, so they'll bring it out towards Kelly.
Wanted to move it.
He does.
He did.
Away he goes, over the top to Phil Davis. Davis lumbers clear, pops it out in front of Shield. If it sits, he's in business. He's got it now. He's on the 50, has a bounce. He's still going. Shenton gives chase. He snaps in towards goal and goes across the face. No mark taken. It's one behind.
It was interesting. Someone needed to stop and lead back into the corridor. Everyone led to goal. He was on a tight angle. There was no percentage. He really didn't have much to go to.
Quickly into Sinclair, and the Saints might catch him on the hop here. This is the important ball to be won, and it's won by Loney. Then he left it behind, being harassed, but he turned, got those wheels moving, kicks it to the wing for the Saints. Bruce. They're on the precipice here again, the Saints. In towards the 50. High ball. Sard's there. Montagna's there. So is Shaw. He's been a steadying influence. His defensive work since the first quarter's been outstanding, Heath Shaw. And he tries to get that one over the line and out of bounds. It's 11-14-80 to 10-7-67. Front of 18,000 at Etihad Stadium. Nervous St Kilda fans hoping against hope. Here's Armitage with the run and the shot, which again is the wrong side. It's 2 even goals the difference now.
And remember, there's no Nick Revolt for the players to kick to when they do go forward. They're so used to seeing him there.
It's up to Bruce and Membry now. Those guys have to assume the responsibility. One of them need to stay deep.
Shaw to Davis. Davis is tucked in the pocket. Jack Sinclair, the man on the mark. The sub getting a run. Speaking of run, here's Whitfield into the centre.
It's a beautiful kick.
Does it well. Goes laterally. It's going to be okay. Bug, who's having a spell, just coming back out onto the ground.
It's a bad miss.
That's a bad miss for Shield, but he tidies up magnificently. Centres the ball beautifully, and that's the way to do it.
Well, that's what he was looking for before, when he had to have the shot for goal, but there was no one pulling back into the corridor. Everyone was close to goal, and he had no angle to work with. This time, a little bit lucky because the bug kick wasn't great, but Dylan Shields got very, very good evasive skills.
Palmer has kicked one. But if he can sink this, it could go some way to sinking the Saints.
Yeah, we did say he's improved his kicking. This is a good place to test it under pressure when you really need one.
35 out. Left foot on its way.
It's a good hit. Ooh.
I think last time we mentioned that, Jason, you said you've just mozzed him. You didn't on that occasion.
That's a strange kick out.
And it's going to go back from whence it came. Very strange because Thomas Bugg.
Yeah. It's okay to go long down the middle if you're set up for it, but there weren't any players.
50th game for Bugg today. As we said earlier, on his birthday. So he'd love the 4 premiership points. Still a way to go yet. Smith and Shield lurking. Fisher there for the Saints. And at the bottom is Reece Palmer.
Mumford, Shield, been a prominent player today. He's all class.
That.
All class. What a goal.
Just threaded the needle, didn't he?
A little shimmy through traffic and then onto the opposite foot. Not many left footers are that confident on their right foot, Spud, but I just love the way he negotiates traffic. A little shimmy, gives himself the angle and then finishes. That's clever. Great tap from Mumford.
It's a beautiful bit of ruck work. Great finish. Terrific goal.
They're gaining in experience with undoubted talent, this midfield of the Giants. And Dylan Shield, no wonder he's been talked about a lot as potentially coming back to Melbourne, but he's a fine player for this Giants team at the moment. What a critical goal that may well prove to be. They're inside again, but Dempster holds them up this time. He wants to move it quickly for the Saints. They've got to rack some quick scoreboard pressure on. Armitage, he didn't quite get all of that kick. Got to the destination in the end. And now Savage, he can rev it up here. Charging through. Can he get enough on the kick this time? It's touch and go. It's the wrong side, or is it a mark? No. Through from behind.
Shield taking the kick out. Comes down the line. Work for Devon Smith here. Forced to defend in the end. Smith now with the hand pass to Caniglio. Goes back once again to Bugg. Bugg goes short. That's okay. Finds his teammate there in Tomlinson. He goes laterally to Haynes. Haynes is on half back. Time starting to become an enemy as far as St Kilda is concerned. Under 5 minutes remaining in the half, but maybe Armitage can do something here. Takes it and goes bang with a bomb up towards half forward, only to see Shaw cut it off. To Shield.
But it wasn't a great kick to Arnott's side, but had to put the ball out in front on that occasion.
Shield finds Patfull. Shield's had 27 disposals. Third to Whitfield and Treloar for the Giants. Shenton used the body and used it well. Off to Fisher. Fisher goes short. And mark and or free kick being paid there to Schneider. Schneider goes wide to Savage. A lovely kick of the ball. Need a gem here. Not too bad.
Oh, what?
Not too bad.
What?
Savage keeps the Saints alive.
Well, that's what you call a modern-day quarterback. We know over in America they pass the ball, but he was just waiting outside the realms there. It was a really good handball. He's looking to see if he can come off.
Yeah,
but
he just sprinted off half-back early, so he's low on fuel. But
have a look at the kick.
He took himself right to the flank too. He just wanted to settle, get within 55 and bomb away, but that's a great finish.
Clever play from Schneider.
Jeremy Cameron just coming back on the ground for the Giants. I think they've just felt a bit vulnerable there with St Kilda within 2 goals now and plenty of time for them to kick a couple.
Bad news for Savage is he didn't get a spell. So he's sucking in the big ones right now.
These clearances in the middle, so important. Leon Cameron again anxious. Saints, can they get it out of there? Everyone and his dog up there going for the ruck contest, trying to hack it forward. Numbers start to multiply around the ball.
And Hutto, there's no news on Nick Rewald at all. He's went down the race to get assessed, as we'd expect, but hasn't surfaced.
We've got pets on the ground.
Well, you never know, Sandy. In some of those Irish games, we had a dog out there. Coming through is Hampton.
St Kilda need a third man up here. You can see what GWS are trying to do. They're getting the extra half forward around the ball and just keep it in close.
Bobbles away. Shield breaks the first tackle, not the second. Here they go. Montagna in there. Membry goes to ground. There's Saints everywhere. Dunstan hacked it. Sinclair! Oh, the moment got to him and he's missed to behind.
Do you have time to steady on his right?
Yeah, what sort of kick? Went a little banana dribble.
Wasn't your dribble kick, Jace, was it?
He roped it well, though. I like him as a player. He looks like he's got a bit of class about him.
Sinclair and Loney look to have futures with the Saints, which is good news. From the kick back in, it's Geary who gives it to Armitage. Armitage goes from 46 metres, but he too is away to the left this time. And another behind. They're peppering.
They've had some chances.
Yeah, they have.
It's a 10-point ball game.
And the play here is to play on and go long down the line.
Shaw does go long. Dempster, however, got the ride, couldn't complete the mark. Sees the ball over the line. 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time for 2 goals.
Yep. Mumford from the back. Did he give a nudge? He did, said the umpire.
Well, St Kilda need to walk away because all can happen now is GWS can get the ball.
He's lucky he didn't get that taken off him.
Yes. Very lucky. No, that wasn't his best either.
Patful.
Had to go long to the square to line up.
So Patful defends. From the back pocket he goes long down the line. Big pack of players. This time it's Dempster who's the flyer.
It's not a bad grab either.
So Dempster towards the 50 once more. And the man in front's got to be paid the mark.
Had to be man in front.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, good steady mark from Patful.
In opposition to Membry.
Just the experience of Patful and Davis in this last quarter. They've had some telling plays in this last quarter, the 2 defenders.
Tired-looking kick, but it's effective, and that's the main thing. Griffin was at the back.
You just saw the experience then. He was about to hand pass. You thought, no, let's chew up the clock.
Yeah.
Let's hang on to it as long as we can.
And that's what he's doing. It's down to 1:45. Up towards the half-forward line. McCarthy was there, couldn't complete the mark. Saints are running out of time here. Oh, here's the youngster once again in Sinclair. They got to go. He's away. Saad short to Longer. Longer's on 50.
There's Savage. No, he's missed him.
He's got to go quickly. Longer gives it away. Here's the kick from Montagna. Montagna's wobbly old punt kick goes down towards full forward. And it's hammered defensively over the line. One behind. Just over a minute remaining. And it's a 9-point ball game.
Still a possibility for the Saints, especially with kicks like that, which gave them a look. Haynes takes the mark. He'll no doubt be conservative here. Either get a little short kick in or just go down the line to numbers and height. Tomlinson is in his sights with the kick, but Longer's taller, and he drags the grab down. He can't waste any time. He gets it off. Savage was too hasty, and now it's holding the ball.
Well, Savage shouldn't have called it because Palmer was too close. I could see what they were trying to do on that occasion, but there's times to handball and there's times to say, no, hold it up.
Palmer's looking for a pass backwards, but it's just as good, if not better.
He might as well go backwards here.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to man up.
Yeah.
Keep possession. He can go backwards again, Palmer. He's mad if he doesn't.
He goes back to Haynes.
Chewing all the time off the clock.
Yeah. One more clean possession. That'll just about do it. Finds Shaw.
You show it to him then? Just took the mark and held it out there.
Just eating up every possible last millisecond. He drives down the line. Dempster rips down another grab. The Saints have fallen short, and the Giants have beaten St Kilda for the first time in their short history. You'd have to say it was a reasonably unconvincing win in the end, but it doesn't matter. It's worth 4 points. They're on the board in season 2015 in a real struggle at Etihad Stadium.
No, it was a good contest, Hutto. There's no doubting that. Well done to GWS. I think the extra midfielders in the end through Treloar, Whitfield, Shield, Ward, Green, Bug, Kelly, Scully. You know, they sub him off, then bring Cornelio on. So, well done to GWS. I think the Saints were fairly brave in defeat. They never gave up the ghost whatsoever. There was a few missed opportunities in that third quarter, but you could say the same for the GWS. They kicked 15 behinds also. So, first time they've beaten the Saints, and well done. As we said, round one games, Jace, are very hard to win.
They are, and what I liked about St Kilda is, you know, at no stage did you really believe they were going to win the game. But what they did was they stuck in the contest long enough. And then lo and behold, with 10 minutes to go, they got the feeling, hey, this game's still there to be won. They were only a couple of kicks out of it.
Cameron kicked 4 goals. McCarthy booted 3. We might head down to the ground now because Baz has got one of the great possession getters on the ground today in Treloar. Baz?
Yeah, thanks, Sandy, with Adam Treloar, and what a fantastic effort from you, but more importantly, the team. To get a round one victory is pretty important.
Mate, absolutely. We knew they were going to come out firing, especially for, obviously, Riewoldt. Round one clash, you can't get any better than that. We knew they were going to come, which they did in the third and fourth quarter, but to our boys' credit, we held strong, and the defence was terrific today, and yeah, I'm just so stoked we got 4 points.
All the indicators you dominated in most of the game, but just taking the opportunities weren't there, and that's what kept them in the game in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think, yeah, we really butchered the ball a bit. We turned the ball over a bit. We missed goals, but that's footy. As long as we come away with 4 points.
You must be pretty relieved that Ryan Griffin's along beside you, and he's getting a little bit of attention now because it lets you off the chain a little bit.
Mate, you're spot on. I'm very lucky. But Griffin's been fantastic for us, as well as Joel Paffel. Paffel was super today, and it's just great having him around.
It was a great effort. Go and enjoy it.
Beauty. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, I think he should go and buy Ryan Griffin a coffee during the week, because he was the guy that was copying a lot of the heat later in the season, and as I said, he was probably the best player on the ground. Jace for mine, he was everywhere. Just finished full of running. He's had the 7 clearances, 5 of those centre clearances, 5 tackles, 32 disposals, 5 inside 50s.
And a goal.
And 1 goal won. So just two-way football from a young player like that. That gives the GWS supporters plenty to talk about.
Let's head back down on the ground. Baz, who have you got? The big mummy?
Yeah, here with the big mummy, and a great effort in the end, but pretty impressive effort from yourself. It was like an old-fashioned ruck duel. You just keep grinding away.
Yeah, he's a tough opponent. Always knew it was going to be tough against him, but hope I got the better of him. I don't know what the stats were in the end there, but yeah, obviously to get the year off with a win like this, to really just grind it out, it's exactly what we wanted.
We was concerned internally because you weren't taking your opportunities for most of the day, and they just kept hanging in, the Saints.
I guess, yeah, we were a little bit worried there when they kept coming at us, but to the boys' credit, we dug in and we hung on, and yeah, take the 4 points home. It's always good.
You've been around footy a long time. Can you sense this group maturing a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. You've only just got to look at them to see the bigger bodies and the stronger guys. Obviously, it's a pretty exciting year for us.
Oh, good luck and well done.
Thanks, mate.
He had a very good game, Shane Mumford. 36 hit-outs to 20 on Longer, but it was his play, Jace, outside the centre square that really did hurt St Kilda.
He took the sting out of Longer's legs. He ran him everywhere. He ran him forward, he ran him back, and he beat him both ways.
Well, I think a number of people may have come here today thinking that the Saints were going to really cop one around the head. They didn't. They would not go away, and in the end, after a gallant attempt to close the gap in the final quarter, they just failed by 9 points. 12-15 the Giants, 11-12 to St Kilda. The Giants home by 9 points in front of over 18,000 here at Etihad. Well, there's no doubt they got a scare, the young Giants, but they were able to hang on and record a 9-point thrilling win over a gallant St Kilda. Jeremy Cameron, after a quiet start, built on his stats, particularly in front of goal. He finished with 4 goals for the day. Adam Treloar was a marvellous contributor with over 30 disposals. And there we can see the final scoreline, 12-15, 87 the Giants to St Kilda. 11 goals, 12-78.
Yes, Jason Dunstall and Danny Frawley as we have a look at some of the numbers and the dominating players in the game. Adam Treloar we're going to have a closer look at in a moment. Whitfield, he's got that extra year under his belt, 31 disposals, but wasn't Stephen and Armitage and Geary out of defence outstanding to give the Saints a chance?
They hung in there. That was the key for St Kilda. It looked at most stages of the game, Spud, that GWS had control, probably should have won by more. They weren't over impressive, but to St Kilda's credit, they stuck at it and they actually gave themselves a chance to pinch the game.
Yeah, they did. You'd have to wonder how much the impact of Riewoldt going off, because they got the ball down there another 6 times. We're not sure how bad Nick Riewoldt is. Let's hopefully he's okay. But could that be the difference when he went off the ground? Because they still had enough chances there to win the game.
A bit unusual side in front of us here.
It looks very foreign, doesn't it?
Kick to kick here at Etihad Stadium.
Every Sunday, apparently. So that's fantastic for the kids on Easter Sunday. So great thrill.
Let's talk about Adam Treloar. He said in the interview, we talked about it during the commentary, that with Ryan Griffin now at the club, he's going to get more freedom and he's going to be very pleased. 32 disposals. It's a really threatening midfield they're building.
It is. He knows how to find the football. What impressed me most about the GWS midfield, Treloar included, is how good they are with their hands around the stoppages. They'll fire away 2 or 3 hand passes, but they draw and give, and then the space opens up for someone to run away with. So a lot to like about the entire midfield, but he's certainly one of their best. He's a natural ball-getting midfielder.
Yeah, well, in the first half, it was all the midfield hitting the scoreboard, but when they got a little bit more tight in their run and carry, they then looked up and kicked the ball to Cameron and McCarthy. Those guys actually had more impact, the forwards, because they were probably overdoing that handball early, the GWS, and then they looked up to their dangerous forwards. And Cameron kicked, 3 second-half goals and McCarthy 2. So they kicked 5 between them in the second half, the big forwards.
What about the performance of the big Mummy?
Mummy was outstanding. He was like another midfielder after the clearances, Sandy. Longer looked tired after the first 5 or 10 minutes, but you just see Mumford here pushing hard to the logos after the centre clearance. He's like another midfielder. You know, he weighs about 115, 120 kegs, but can he move over the ground for a big fella? We know his second efforts are great, and he was a handful all day for the Saints. And what about that? Just lace out for a goal. You know, he splits the pack open there, and look, the work rate for Mumford was no, why you get him, recruit him. He wins the best and fairest, and throw in Griffin now and throw in Patfull. They've got some really experienced players with Heath Shaw also.
Well, you mentioned Nick Riewoldt getting injured. I think one of the things about the day is St Kilda, Riewoldt wasn't a dominant player for them. And, we know he's obviously had a terribly interrupted pre-season, but Josh Bruce is one that is going to have to be a big presence up forward. We know he took an absolute hanger today. If he can drag a few of those down and convert, Jason, it'll be very, very important, won't it?
Well, when you have a look at the way they set up, they had Bruce and they also had Membry up there as targets to go to alongside Riewoldt, and they kicked 2 goals each. Now, Josh Bruce, we saw him play a few games late last year. He looked good there in the NAB Challenge, and he started up forward. That's the big hanger you're talking about. That is a cracker. I think the front-on vision's actually the best one. It looks absolutely brilliant. He missed that one at a critical time, and they missed a few set shots that would have got him back in the game. But he has defensive skills as well as the ability to take marks and to actually convert. So if you get a couple of goals out of him, and then Tim Membry, who they've recruited down from Sydney, chimes in with a couple, all of a sudden there's a few more options other than let's just go to Riewoldt all the time.
You mentioned Nick Riewoldt. We'll learn more about the injury, obviously, in the next day or so, but it was backing into Tommy Bugg, and it appeared to be a back problem.
Yeah, that looked like he was saying on my back when he was lying on the ground. And I don't think it was untoward.
He wasn't ready for it. You could see there his neck go forward, which meant that he was sort of loose. And look, it was an innocuous bump, but in the end, it really looked serious. So that was the positive, that he did jog off in the end.
All right, then, so there it is. Let's hope that he is okay. We're going to leave you now with, of course, the song of the Giants after they were successful today by 9 points.
This has been a Fox Footy production, part of the Fox Sports Network.